I thought someone was gonna say it.
I thought so too. That's awkward.
Is
Hello,
this
y'all.
We're on. We're
Yeah.
live.
on?
We're live. Aiden did the countdown.
Hello,
Oh,
everybody.
We're on. We're live.
Circle, circle, circle,
Hello, everybody.
Marby.
This is, please stop
Marby.
saying Marby's. I don't need to
No.
be.
Barbie Scoper. Barbie Scoper.
I never in
Right.
my
You can
life.
ask how many times you want to. The answer is gonna be no.
Just like that magic conch shell.
I want this joke to end.
No.
Alrighty. Alright.
My Barbies.
Alright, guys, let's focus, y'all. Who y'all? Who y'all?
My name is Barbie Sausage, and
But
Okay, let's get this back on track. I'm Nick Man. I am somehow
No,
instigating this
I
more than
know.
other people. But, yeah, I'm Nick
Hi,
Man.
I'm Aiden, and I'm apparently the only person in this Tickles project knows how to skate.
Hi,
And
I am the
I am-
Mastora, and I'm a Canadian who doesn't know how to skate.
I'm Bears fan, and life is pain.
I am the Bears fan, and I know.
You're
the next-
not me. Quit stealing
I
my
am the
title.
Sox fan. I am
No,
the
you
White
are as the Neil. You are as the Neil, and you play Yu-Gi-Oh.
hey, easy there, Asa. Calm down.
Hear me out. Look,
Yeah, let's hear
I
Taken
have-
Out.
This isn't funny.
Who lives in Chicago? Who lives in Chicago? Right damn smack middle.
You don't, oh my god.
I will
I'm
pull
going.
this card. I will pull this card if I have to. I will pull this card if I have to.
You will not pull this card. Just because you live in Chicago doesn't mean you're a Bears fan. I've seen a lot of Packers fans in Chicago.
I mean, that makes sense. Honestly, they want to see a winning football team.
Now, I'm just gonna say. Shut up. Now, I'm just gonna say, if you've noticed something early, you'll notice there's a lot of arguing and disagreement so far. However, there is something I'm sure all of us can agree on. Fanatics fucking sucks.
Agreed.
I'm actually in favor of Fanatics. I think they're a really well organization.
Stop taking your
Judge,
mom's
kill this man.
desserts.
Stop
Stop
it.
it. Stop it.
Fanatics. Again, I should remind you that I'm both a Fanatic and an Adidas hockey jersey, so I think I kind of know what I'm talking about when I say Fanatics fucking suck.
There's a wonderful Twitter account that is it Fuck Fanatics?
Fanatics suck.
Fanatics sucks. Please
Alright, so
go follow them.
I'm gonna start off by talking about so I think you guys remember a few months back I made a talk about comparing Fanatics hockey jerseys to the Adidas hockey jerseys. I talked about how it's bought an Adidas hockey jersey and how it's actually sportswear, whereas the Fanatics hockey jersey is basically just fan wear. Update! So I kept both jerseys and I'm using the Fanatics jersey as sleepwear. That's how bad Fanatics is. Like when you compare the patches, when you compare the quality, when you compare the stitching, just splurge more money on an authentic jersey. Don't squander under the Fanatics trap. And as it turns out, it aged like fine wine because guess what? It's months from now. It's currently almost baseball season, and Fanatics is taking over manufacturing baseball jerseys. And consensus, guys, how do you guys think of the Fanatics baseball jersey?
They're bad.
Dog shit.
I think they're interesting.
Shut up.
Yeah.
They
You can call it
are
interesting, not gonna lie.
they
You can't
are-
call it,
Yeah.
I will say that.
Fanatics. I have never seen so much butchering done. Whenever Fanatics just uses the jersey, right? I've never seen the Fanatics be so bad. The most mistakes I've seen on jerseys have been from Fanatics. Especially we have seen how bad Fanatics is, and it is spring training. this year, it is. I've never heard former players just call this out as a total dumpster fire. Like, it's bad. Like,
This is by far the biggest story in baseball right now.
Mhm.
And I'm not kidding with that. Like, I'm dead serious. This is the biggest story to start the baseball season.
Exactly.
Oh, and if you guys thought that the misprints and the bad designs were the worst part, look at the pants. The first thing I saw on Wednesday or Thursday on my timeline during my lunch break was Casey Schmidt's family jewel. Seeing a Giants player's private part on my timeline was not something I thought I'd say in the year 2024, but here we are.
Like, how do you butcher jerseys? Like, it is
Yeah, like there's
the easiest thing on the planet, right? Like, I feel like a baseball jersey, like, baseball is so much tradition. And when your jersey is complete see-through, there is a lot of problems that are there. And I don't know how, especially when you are making that transition from one company to the next. Shouldn't you have samples ready, beforehand, so that way the transition is, seamless? Like, they're not even willing.
Please, that would cost money. And can you imagine if the CEO could buy one less private island?
Do you want, and the thing too is, right, they're only
Like-
having 4 different variations of the jersey. 4.
Like I said,
Mhm, yeah. Like, honestly, like, regarding the see-through issue, it's so much worse when you consider the fact that a lot of pants in baseball are white. They're white pants. What do you think's gonna happen when you mix white pants and see-through together? What the hell you think's gonna happen there? You're gonna be seeing some freaking cock on your timeline. That's what's gonna be happening.
I think
Yeah.
you're all over.
well, I think baseball could be improved with a little bit of dick and balls, but that's besides the point.
Oh my god.
I mean, all I can say is if I'm Casey Schmidt, I'm suing the fuck out of Fanatic.
Mm-hmm. It's to me, like, I think the worst combinations when you have is those kinds of pants and water. I think you mix those two together, I think we're going to be seeing way too much, dick and balls than we would want to, except for Spencer.
Congratulations, Fanatic. Soccer Beat Baseball R-rated. Thank you very much.
This goes beyond R-rated and maybe into NC-17 territory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna say, if the MLB wants to start an OnlyFans account, now's the time.
Especially with John Cena doing it,
Oh,
Which
yeah,
I'm-
Randy Orton might be
God. John Cena.
I'm not buying the OnlyFans, John Cena.
Because he's already
I'm
bought
sorry,
it
John. I know you
before.
John, you follow me on Twitter, but I'm not buying it. I'm sorry, dude.
Like, I hope, like, is he actually doing straight up porn on his OnlyFans, or is it something more?
I have no clue. It might just be
Tame.
another Markiplier situation. I don't know.
Because that's the only way I see, like, genuinely John Cena doing an OnlyFans for. I don't see him actually
Yeah, I
making
will
it's
say
just
though,
blank
porn.
images.
really, yeah, regarding blank images, it really does. Regarding the Fnatic shit show, it really triggers me. And granted, it's not the biggest issue here. But goddamn, how do you screw up the lettering so badly? Like, I posted the image from the Fnatic Sucks account of Ian Happ's jersey and just how badly it looks separated. Like, how do you separate the letters this badly?
They call that kerning.
Did
A
you see
kerning
Verlander's
issue.
jersey? Oh my god, I want to puke. Like, ew. It's so, like, the Mariners patching is so low effort. Like, you give that shit to fans. You don't give that shit to, like, actual players. That's, to me, is just the worst part of it. We're having players wear such poor quality jerseys. And from a standpoint of like fans who you want fans to buy your product, you want to make sure that the players have the best product possible. And congratulations, Fanatics, you've now shown that why nobody should be buying your jerseys. Thanks, Fanatics.
Yeah, and I see the font size, and all I ask myself is, did SpongeBob go Wumbo with this? Did he go freaking Wumbo with these jerseys? That's the only explanation I would genuinely enjoy from Fanatics that wouldn't make me want to choke someone.
Where's this at?
What, the image?
Yeah.
Yeah, Fanatics sucks.
Yeah, I posted
on,
in
Twitter.
Yeah, I posted in the chat, but also it's on the Fanatics Sucks account. Like, you can just see how bad the lettering is.
Ha! Pee-pee!
Yeah, ha PP. No, I'm just gonna email Fanatics just something that says ha PP.
Wait a minute! I just realized something. Maybe that's how people are should be reacting when they see Fanatics fans. Ha! PP.
That's true. PP.
Yeah, congratulations! You turned your baseball jerseys into like fucking pee-pee poo-poo tier jokes.
But I'm not gonna lie, honestly, with Fanatics, I should have known the bad signs from this company. I've had bad signs of Fanatics ever since I first saw their commercials popping up everywhere, and it was the same fucking commercial with just a different sport. Like, literally copy and paste commercials with just a different sport inserted, and it's like, this is the most corporate shit I've seen, and this gives me bad vibes of a company that doesn't know what they're doing.
Wait, was Fanatics the one company that put out that awful "The Champ Is Here" campaign?
I'm not sure.
But you know what
that was NFL Shop. That was NFL Shop.
Sorry, I just can't get that out of my fucking head. Like, dun, 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 dun. The champ is here. Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun.
oh god, I'm getting Vietnam flashbacks now.
Oh god, please don't remind me of that song ever again.
Yeah, they sure really overused that one, eh?
If I never have to see that Cleveland Browns fan biting at the screen again, it will be a day too late.
That's true.
In the defense of Fanatic,
How?
Let's stop there.
let me
Take
just
it.
say
How?
something. Let me just say something real quick. What if it's a marketing scheme?
How much are they paying you? How much are they paying you to say?
Tegan, where on the doll
wait,
did
hold
you touch them? Where on the doll did you touch them?
Look,
Wait,
look.
How much
No,
do
no,
you
no,
have
no. Hear me out.
invested?
They
Hear
asked you
me
to
out.
suck their dick.
Hear me out. What if it is a marketing scheme and they fix the jerseys by the regular season and it's all to bring awareness for it and they play it off as some sort of joke in an ad campaign?
They're not
Is this
Sonic
some
the
new
Hedgehog.
Coke shit? Is this some new Coke crap?
They are not Sonic the Hedgehogging this. They are not gonna Sonic the Hedgehog this shit.
Tegan, believe me when I say this, as someone who's had a Fanatics hockey jersey and a more authentic Adidas hockey jersey, I have no trust in Fanatics to make quality shit. I'm sorry.
Tegan,
I mean, when did I ever say I actually believed that, though?
Tegan, how much
That-
weed have you smoked today? Genuine
I've smoked
question.
none.
Okay.
Tegan, is weed
look,
even legal in Iowa?
He doesn't know.
Well,
Anywho.
anyways.
What I'm gonna say regarding uniforms is that a lot of times when there's uniform fuck-ups, it's either because the jerseys aren't strong enough, which I remember the NBA having an issue when they switched to, like, Nike. I remember there was an issue with how, like, the jerseys would just rip at some slight touching, but, like, the main one I've always seen with jerseys usually is color shading. Is the color shades usually off, which once again, Nike's had issues with that, which is which is a big reason why the Eagles uniforms and the Lakers uniforms look different than they used to. However, I feel like this is obviously pales in comparison to making pants where you can literally see a dude's penis.
Is Michael Penis.
Yeah,
it's
thanks a lot
Michael
for that.
Penis.
It's now baseball's already NSFW.
Michael Penis and his junior.
Yeah.
You know what would really be the thickest crossover? Fanatics Plants plus Mrs. Smith. Fanatics Plants plus Mrs. Smith. Imagine that.
You know,
Congratulations. Congratulations, baseball. You now made your sport NSFW.
That's just impressive.
Actually,
Yeah, baseball's secret. I realize baseball's secret to getting more views is to just to create a rule called Rule 34.
shut up. Oh my god.
Yeah, prosperity people.
And
You-
this is why.
You wanted
is-
this, Luke. You wanted
and-
this.
and
I'm
this is why
fine
I
with
will
it.
never
I'm
show-
fine.
This is why I will never show my family the Sickos podcast.
Oh, my mom knows.
Hey, I don't show
Because I
my
don't-
family this either, so don't act like you're original here, buddy.
Yeah, like I thought I showed my family once, and my dad was like, "Well, gee whiz, that's an awful lot of swearing you do on that big podcast."
I
And I'm
tried.
like, "Fuck you."
I tried to say, maybe we tone the swearing down, but they was like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We wanna be
Spencer
a-
ruined that like 5 minutes in.
I wanted it to be PG. I wanted it to be PG, but
PG-13's fine enough. PG-13's
Yeah.
fine enough.
I'm afraid this one's rated
What?
PP,
What?
folks. This one's
Plus,
PP.
plus cussing automatically gets us into PG-13 territory, meaning
Yeah.
that we're officially not for kids.
the stream's
Yeah.
already labeled
This,
not for kids.
Yeah, besides, being labeled for kids is a bad thing now, because people can't put down their comments below, which, if you're listening, you should, so we can get a sponsorship from, like,
Raid Shadow Legends.
I was gonna say
No.
Adam and Eve, but, you know.
No,
Look at the
Oh,
ring on.
no,
No.
Manscaped, come back from the dead. We need sponsors.
We need sponsors.
I think we'd be lucky to be even sponsored by a local business.
This
Yeah, this podcast brought to you by the Corner Bar.
Sponsored by Woodstone Pizza. We are coming for our pickup special. Buy 2 slices, you get a free can of pop.
It's
Oh.
soda. It's soda.
You
Okay.
fucking Canuck!
Okay.
You Canadian fuck!
Okay, before we move
Fine.
on, we're gonna have to have another welcome
okay,
back.
okay, Nick. What do you call carbonated beverages such as Pepsi and Coke?
Soda, you
Soda.
moron!
You call it soda. Aiden, what do you call it?
It's called soda.
Damn. I'm
Okay,
kidding.
you're already outnumbered 3-1.
It's 5
Doesn't
to
matter.
1.
Hey, soda.
5
I'm a
to
soda
1.
guy too.
Okay, it's
soda.
4-1.
I said.
Okay, guys, welcome to the Untitled Intervention podcast.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
today we're
I'll call it
having an
soda. I'm
intervention.
not interested in arguing. We have the power rankings to continue.
Where is the link on that?
It's the same link it's always is. You should have access.
Where is
to
it?
In your Google Drive. You open up Google Drive.
We don't. My Google doesn't drive. It opens.
Yeah,
What the
yeah,
hell?
like,
on.
damn, daddy.
Oh my
Google
god.
Let me pin it. Let me find it. I'll
I got
pin
it. Yep, I got it.
All right, thanks, Nick.
Oh, hey Nick, are you gonna stay up till 2 o'clock tonight for the
Yeah,
for the WWE?
I will try. I will fucking try.
WWE.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
having
because
a
they're holding a show in
pay-per-view.
Australia. A pay-per-view or premium live event in
At
Australia.
2 a.m.
Don't
Holy
call it a
crap.
premium live event.
Holy smokes!
What is-
Yeah, I know.
Don't listen to the left-wing media, Nick.
The
It's
liberal
pay-per-view.
media.
Don't listen to them.
I am getting controlled by a freaking spiral. There is something telling me to say it is premium live event. You will learn and you will make sure to repeat it.
Live in the pod, eat the bug. Anyway, number 19.
Yes,
Hey,
number
I'm
19.
not there yet. I'm not there yet. Chill.
It's not even your turn, Tegan. Get with the program.
Chill. I'm getting my things set up. Like, come on.
All
Why are you all
right.
so mean to me?
To be fair, I believe
Look,
it's
that Soy Jack was a love letter. That
Don't.
soy...
Don't. We are not bringing that up. We are not bringing that up. We are not.
You're not.
We are not bringing this up.
Dear Lord, y'all.
We are off the rails tonight.
It's been a long
It's
week for
saying
me. I'm
something.
sorry.
It's okay.
It's okay, which is really saying
How
something
is your-
though, 'cause we're
how-
usually-
How has your
Spencer's
week
just
been long?
lashing out at us.
It's been the same amount as everyone else.
First off, shut the fuck up. And second off, second off, go fuck yourself.
Okay.
You just said what you said again.
Exactly.
All right, so
Anyway,
let's do a quick recap. My spots 20 to 32 are the Browns, Commanders, Jets, Raiders, Texans, Dolphins, Cowboys, Lions, Jaguars, Chargers, Cardinals, Bears, and Bills. At number 19, the Cincinnati Bengals.
The Bengals.
The Bengals, no longer called the Bungles, and I am sad by that. They've had it's crazy what happens is when you get a franchise level quarterback. Joe Burrow,
Yeah.
I wasn't so high on him coming out of college. I thought the Bengals were going to totally ruin and destroy him. In a way they have.
Carson Palmer.
But you can't really ignore the success they've had when Joe Burrow's on the field. He is an incredible quarterback. Year 2 took this team to the Super Bowl. And then the last year, was it 2022? It was the conference championship game. That was again phenomenal, deep playoff run, and it really feels like he's the only player, the only current quarterback in the AFC that is able to beat Mahomes when it matters. And you're probably thinking, Luke, they should be up higher. Well, that's where the positives tend to end for the Bungles. Let's go back to when they were the Bungles. The longest tenure of a head coach that never got fired, aka Marvin Lewis. That tenure was so awful. They never made it past the first round of the playoffs. Constant failure. That disaster, the closest they had when they could have beaten the Pittsburgh, and they decided to be complete head-hunting idiots the whole game. Carson Palmer. The era of Carson Palmer in Cincinnati was a big fat nothing burger. Carson Palmer got so sick of this city that he wanted out as fast as he could. Cincinnati has really not done much. They should be praising to the Lord that Joe Burrow has done something with them, and they were fairly close to winning a Super Bowl too. If only they would manage to hold Aaron Donald for just half a second longer. Cincinnati would have been. I think they're that close to winning a Super Bowl versus the Rams. Can they maintain the success? I think as long as they have Joe Burrow, and they can. They also recently tagged T. Higgins, which really doesn't surprise nobody. There's no way he is going to be given away for free. Too valuable. The only thing is that can Joe Burrow's strain of injuries stop? He's missed an ACL. He's missed an entire season to an ACL tear, and there was an injury in his wrist. Wrist, right? It was his wrist. Yeah. He was out for a season for a wrist injury. That's again, shows that you're not. Two of his 4 seasons he has been knocked and dealt with injuries. The Bengals, you're praying for a healthy Joe Burrow. Fun fact, he's only completed, he has yet to complete a training camp without getting hurt except his rookie season. So,
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just asking, and by the way, that rookie season was also 2020, so yeah, if you're Joe Burrow, you're just like, okay, you're just asking the football gods, can I please have one normal training camp, please?
With the frizz? No way.
but yeah, I think Cincinnati's in a position to have great success in the next 10 years if Joe Burrow stays healthy. If he doesn't stay healthy, then good luck. Anyways, that's my number 18.
Rock star, my energy drinks.
Oh, fuck, you guys heard that? I thought I muted my mic.
Are you drinking your soy? Are you drinking your soy right
I'm
now?
drinking the thing that's gonna keep me awake for the next 3 hours.
What?
Caffeine.
My caffeine.
My caffeine. Alright, anyways, that's my number 19. Aiden, who is your number 19, my guy? This guy also said the Colts were 21. Just thought you should know. I'm never letting you live that down, Aiden. Never.
Yeah.
You need to build a bridge and get over it.
All right. So I'm gonna go run down my previous ranking. So I had the Commanders, Browns, Raiders, Jets, Jaguars, Dolphins, Cardinals, Chargers, Cowboys, Texans, Titans, Colts, and the Lions. Now, I'm going to justify my Colts pick by saying this. As much as I'm optimistic about Anthony Richardson, as much as I acknowledge that they've won a Super Bowl, I just can't shake the fact that Jim Irsay is going to find a way to fuck it all up. That's why I don't rank them high.
Peyton Manning era was really good. So is the Andrew Luck era.
Well,
Better than
unfortunately,
Detroit.
well, to be fair, here's the thing. It's mostly an indictment of Irsay. Irsay is a guy who could get some of the most successful teams this era and possibly waste them. But anywho, I'm gonna move on to my next entry, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are not gonna like it.
Is it the Rams?
Are you high? They've
The
won
Bears.
30. Oh,
The Bears are number 19.
that's actually pretty
Now
high.
you know. Now I'll be honest. I was about to rank them lower, but I realized there's other teams that have been more down bad. But dear Lord, the Bears have been. But they've had times they were successful. They've had a great defense, great players, Brian Locker, Matt Forte, who else? DJ Moore, Khalil Mack. But at the same time, there's one thing I got ding the Bears for. For the longest time, they couldn't have a franchise quarterback. I mean, who was their best quarterback recently? Jay Cutler? Give me a break. I mean, I am optimistic on Fields, but I know a lot of people are not fans of him, and they want the Bears to trade him and get Caleb Williams. But here's the thing. Bears, if you could at least have a sustained run of success and get a franchise QB, I may rank you up a bit higher because, I believe in Foles' vision. I believe that he's gonna bring this team glory, but it's a wait and see. You gotta show me something. And I'm sorry, y'all, but yeah, Bears are number 19. Thank you for Fred Warner, by the way.
I don't disagree with the placement or what you said there. I feel like that's a very fair placement for the Bears. Anyways, I feel like it's my turn now, and for my number 19, we'll do a quick rundown. From 32 to 20, I had the Browns, Commanders, Lions, Jaguars, Raiders, Jets, Dolphins, Texans, Chargers, Bills, Cardinals, Cowboys, and the Bears. So at number 19, in this ranking of the past 25 years, technically 21st century, whatever you want to call it. For number 19, this was close. Definitely a lot of teams bunched up here in terms of their success in the past 25 years, but This one really just came down to the fact that of all the teams in this category, they had what would definitely be considered the most embarrassing moment. And by embarrassing moment, I am talking about quite possibly, well, not even possibly, it's arguably the most famous choke in sports history. Because at number 19, I have the 28-3 franchise, the Atlanta Falcons.
I really thought you were going to talk about Brett Favre throwing the ball across his body.
I'm not. I will get to that some point. But number 19, the Atlanta Falcons. They've had years where, obviously, early 2000s, you had Michael Vick, which I will say it right now. I agree with David Miller. Michael Vick is an overrated quarterback, but there is no denying that he did bring excitement to the Falcons. He did bring excitement before he ended up nearly permanently killing his career, and some would argue it should have been a permanent end to his career. And of course, the Falcons, shit got bad right around that time because obviously the infamous Bobby Petrino reign of terror, which explains itself.
The gutless motherfucker.
Yep, gutless motherfucker writing a note in the locker room to tell players that you resigned. Yeah, that there's a reason that tenure was considered the worst in NFL history until Urban Meyer happened, but that's been stated before. But things got better for the Falcons once you got Matt Ryan. You had multiple playoff appearances, even though you didn't make the Super Bowl in any. You still Matt Ryan, did a great job. Guys like Julio Jones, like freaking. Let's see who else. There was definitely a lot of guys on these Falcons teams. Remember. Yeah, freaking remember Tony Gonzalez on the Falcons? He did pretty well with Atlanta, not gonna lie.
I'm Tony Gonzalez?
Yeah, Tony Gonzalez. I'm Tony Gonzalez, yeah. But yeah, there was a lot of good talent with the Falcons in terms of offense and stuff, Roddy White as well. But after that 2012 season, the Falcons really had some rough years. 2013, 2014, very bad years, went to the canning of Mike Smith. 2015, they were average. Obviously, first year with Dan.
Scandal.
Yeah. Yeah. First year with Dan Quinn and Kyle Shanahan at OC, but we all know what happened the following year. Made the Super Bowl, had one of the greatest offenses in NFL history, and they were one quarter away from winning the Super Bowl. Obviously, if you paid attention to sports for 5 seconds, you will know how that ended. And since then, that joke has really defined the Falcons for what they are. Just a franchise, a choking franchise that can never get over the hump. And, there's a reason that they have not made the playoffs since 2017, whether it be because they kept Dan Quinn for too long and the replacement they got for him, Arthur Smith, was, a hack. That's what I can describe him as. Arthur Smith, a freaking Bucky's looking motherfucker.
I can't believe the Steelers signed him as an OC. Bruh.
Yeah.
He's gonna find a way to get Kenny. What is it? Was it Mace Duck Hodgins and fucking Zach Miller on a fucking stretcher and a 7th round wide receiver, and he's just gonna make it all work it's just gonna make it work. It just works.
I'll say this though with the Falcons. I will say, if there's another thing that defines this franchise outside of the fact that they are known as the 28-3 franchise, 2018, Matt Ryan had an incredible season, and nobody gave a shit because their defense was horrific.
Oh, it was a disaster.
Yeah, that's something that really sums up the Falcons well, is that your greatest quarterback in franchise history had a season that would be described as an MVP season if it was in another season, but nobody could give a rat's ass about it because of how god-awful your team was and how awful your defense was. And that's a great summary of the Falcons. They've had bright spots here and there, but they've never been able to get over the hump, and that feels fitting for why I have them ranked at number 19.
I can't imagine that Matt Ryan on the Vikings that year. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know, this next team, it wasn't that much of a challenge to put them above the other team, solely just because I felt like they did a little bit better, but they're still kind of in the same tier. I have the Minnesota Vikings.
There it is. The first one that isn't a Vikings fan saying Vikings.
So, okay, so I will say this from Browns Browns to Cowboys, the only team that has made the Super Bowl that I have considered lower is the Tennessee Titans. However, with their entire and the Panthers, of course,
And
and the Cardinals, uh, my point still stands. I felt the Vikings have been more consistent when it's come to their play, and while those teams had one team wonders, the Vikings have been consistently better, and in terms, I felt that that is better in terms of like consistency rather than just 1 year wonders.
we do like consistently run at about a 7 out of 10, which is
I
almost nice.
like I consider the Vikings like the McDonald's of teams. Like Dallas and Minnesota are like the McDonald's of teams. Like they get the job done. You're not really spending too much on them, but they work.
Well, I consider that a compliment. Thank you.
Alright, Ozza.
Hello.
Who's your number 19?
As the Neil. Or as the isn't here. so
Ozza's not here. Send him the smiling friends face.
Ozza be gone.
He is personally tracking Aiden down for putting the Bears at 19.
Well, I have somewhat of his list.
You're up, Spencer, then.
No, Luke has his list, I believe.
No, you're up next.
Oh,
Yeah,
his,
Luke did face for number 19.
his number 19 is the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, okay, cool. My number 19 is it's the same as Nick, man. It's the Atlanta Falcons. They they got to a Super Bowl. They almost won, but then they didn't. Oops.
But yeah. Well,
That's about all I need to say about that.
well, as Luke would say, the nerd emoji machine is up next. And as soon as I am not.
Oh, should I have given a recap of my rankings, or
If you want to.
Yeah, if you want to. You don't have to, but if you want to, go ahead.
I mean, I didn't do it for mine, so you're good if you don't want to.
So yeah, Browns, then the Dolphins, which everybody was kind of shocked by, then the Commies, Texans, Cowboys, which everybody LOL'd at, then the Lions, Bills, Chargers, Jets, Jaguars, and then the Vikings, where I trauma dumped about football, the Raiders, the Cardinals, and then the
Okay,
Falcons.
I'm sorry about that. Something happened.
It was the Cowboys. Number 19 for you. It was the
Yeah.
Cowboys.
I am clicking the wrong document 30 times.
Oh, me? Are we talking about me?
Yeah, you had
No,
Cowboys at
no.
19.
So can I explain why I have the Cowboys on number 19?
Go for
Yeah,
it.
Sure.
Why do you have the Cowboys so high?
Well, I mean, they did make the playoffs a lot. And I mean, yeah, they didn't win any rings. But, I don't
We
know.
had another person leave.
Aiden left.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I understand,
Ruh-roh.
like, I understand why people wouldn't like it. Like, I get it. I get it. I've been in. I really do get it. But I still think that I don't know how to say it, right? People that always say what defines success are usually people that either actually don't know what success is or coping, right? But it is a legitimate question. Like, what does define success? And in my opinion, when what I think about success is, hey, what what have we been able to do consistently? And the Cowboys, yeah, after the
25.
90s, they have been horrible, but not for long. They picked themselves up, right? The Tommy Romo years, right? Like everything, right? Like they have been competitive for more than a decade. Of course, that just does not translate when it comes to the playoffs. But by God, like, they're better than the Lions. The Lions didn't make the playoffs in a while. And then when they did make the playoffs, there were wild cards, but they just sucked. Look at the Browns. Like, they just made the playoffs consistently. They kept their fan base on their toes, but not enough as well. If you get my drift,
Mhm.
it's such a at 19. I feel like it's better to put them, especially with what we have more coming up. Of course,
Gotcha.
Miami's a very
Yeah.
different story as well. But yeah.
The way I see the Cowboys, just to quickly sum it up, they are competitive. They've been a competitive team in the 21st century, but they are also the definition of underachievers. That's the
True.
definition of them: competitive and underachievers.
They're like the Vikings with an even shittier fan base.
Yeah.
I
True.
guess so.
I can agree with that.
Yep. So back to the nerd emoji machine, as Luke would say.
Nerd.
We actually have a fairly positive one. We have at negative 0.5 the Atlanta Falcons. So for
Yes,
once, it
the
seems
nerdbot agrees with me.
it
It
seems the
agrees with
nerd
me.
it seems the nerdbot has decided to look favorably among people this go around. And I'm just trying to look back to see if anyone had like anything close to the nerdbot besides Aiden, who I don't think Aiden has gotten a single one on the nerdbot so far.
Let's see. Of course, it predicted the Browns at the bottom.
I mean, usually with a nerd bot, it's like there's an argument for it. I find it crazy. I would just find the Giants are just way too low for me. Like, the Giants are in my top 10 because
Also,
two
it says
Super Bowl
Gates.
wins. I didn't type that. That wasn't me. I didn't type that. That wasn't me.
I believe Tegan did that solely to piss me off.
No, it's Giants. You read that wrong.
Don't gaslight me.
No, I'm not gaslighting you. It says Giants.
Okay, moving
Whatever.
on.
Number 18.
Let's go on
Number
to
18. I have the Tennessee Titans.
The Tennessee Titans.
Even though they're probably on the downswing of things, I look at the Titans. They've made a Super Bowl. They were 1 yard short of winning it all, which, NFL, crazy. It's a game of inches.
We have lost Ozza.
Again.
Now we're just a bunch of white people on a podcast.
Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god.
We have two middle-aged white guys in this, so we are officially a podcast.
Yeah, we're officially.
It's okay. It's okay.
Damn, we've
it's
lost
okay,
our
Nick.
diversity.
We got it together.
We have no
What do you
diversity
mean
anymore.
diversity?
Yeah,
we need diversity.
We need our diversity quota.
We need our Filipino. We need our
Look,
Filipino.
us Gen Z, the Gen Z in me needs to carry this stream now.
Please.
What do you mean? I'm literally you're 1 year younger than me. You are 1 year
Okay, the
younger.
two of us, in Gen
Thank
Z need
you.
to carry the
Please
burden.
enlighten me on what a skippity toilet is.
Yes, please
It's not
help
even Gen
me.
Z, that's Gen Alpha.
What's in
A
Ohio?
toilet.
Why do people
What's
say
in
you're
Ohio?
so
Don't
Ohio? I
associate
don't
these
get
yahoos
it.
with the fucking generation.
Anywho, yeah, that pretty much sums up the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, skippity toilet.
Anyways,
The Tennessee
okay, for real though.
Titans
The Tennessee Titans, I mean, I find them recently, they've had success recently, and then there's the Super Bowl appearance they had a lot earlier on. I feel like the Titans just end up trying to be mostly just on the wrong side of history, and then there was the swing and yiff that they had with Marcus Mariota. Good lord, that was a wire that there alone has showed me a fantastic stat when it comes to drafting, why it matters where you go to. And it matters so much because if you're not having a stable head coach / offensive coordinators, you are bound to fail. It is hard to learn new systems every year. But when you find that stability,
you become Jameis Winston and throw a million interceptions and get banned from Lyft and Publix.
exactly. But, maybe the Titans can turn it around if there's a new era abound. And will it be much like they were in the mid 2000s?
Emphasis on mid.
Yeah. Where you had the greatest prolific college player who became a bust.
Who is typing this?
It's not me.
What the-
Taken, what are you doing?
What do you
Where is
mean?
it?
What do you
All
mean?
the way to the right. I'm looking at it on my computer screen.
What the
What do you mean?
What are you fucking doing? What are you doing? Okay, anyways, that's the Titans. They're number 18. Is Aiden back yet?
No.
No, he's still dead.
I don't know
Well,
where he went.
I guess Fanatics found Aiden.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Do you have a copy of his list?
No, I do not.
Wait, it's still in the
Yeah,
group
but
chat. I can.
Yeah, but you have to pull that up quickly.
Yeah, let me just pull that up real
Mhm.
quick.
Yeah, the Fanatics found them and they freaking Call of Duty Russian sniped them.
All right.
Good thing I don't go anywhere near a window.
And at number 18, I have the Carolina Panthers, and I chose to put them real high because Cam Newton, he had that dog in him, and also thank you for Christian McCaffrey. That was it.
Oh, Aiden got Panthers at 19?
Wow, whoever put Luke as a nerd, like, how could you?
I wonder who could have done that.
Yeah, I wonder what person that has a vendetta against me would put something on there.
It was me, wasn't it?
It rhymes with Rentser.
All right, Scooby Doo, Renzer.
Wait, Nick, why did you put your name there? That's crazy.
What the fuck?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Oh, brother, this guy's.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Hello and welcome
Nick,
to hell.
Nick, I'm so glad you came clean. I'm actually so glad you came clean. You know, the first
Yeah,
step
the
to a
glove
power
does
rankings
fit.
is being
That's
honest
the
with
glove.
yourself.
Alright, 18! Nick, you're up!
18, it's my turn. It's my turn. At number 18, I am picking the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, there we are. Woo!
Yeah. You know, if the Vikings had made a Super Bowl, they would definitely be higher on this, but unfortunately for them, they have not made a Super Bowl due to multiple reasons. Whenever they get very close, something really stupid happens, whether it be giving up 38 unanswered to the Nick Foles Philadelphia Eagles, or Brett Favre making Paul Allen want to drink for the rest of his life, and that's being kind with the way I'm saying that, considering the emphasis he set on Detroit.
This is not Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Vikings have been a franchise, and here in the 21st century, they've been a franchise that's never truly been awful for a long period of time, but they've also, similar to the Cowboys, they've kind of been consistently competitive, but also underachievers. They're basically the Dallas Cowboys with less media coverage. That's really what the Vikings are, and
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's fitting to put them at number 18.
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts, Nick. It hurts existing as a Vikings fan, you know?
Hey, by the way, the only person to put the Vikings lower than you is literally no one else.
That me?
Yeah, no one has put the Vikings lower than you.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was the first one. He was. I mean, Spencer Trauma dumped about the Vikings, so makes sense.
Mm-hmm. He did. There was a lot of trauma dumping.
They hurt me, Taken. They hurt me.
Well, speaking about teams that hurt me, the Chicago Bears.
Over the Minnesota Vikings.
More trauma dumping. Yay!
Spencer, he put the
What?
Chicago Bears over the Minnesota Vikings.
They made a Super Bowl in the 21st century. The Vikings have not. I understand.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say this now. If Caleb Williams does not work out, you are going to be seeing me have a heart attack at a local Italian restaurant in live time.
Does it have to be Italian?
Genuine question.
We
Does it have to be
look.
Italian?
You. I think it says. I think to put it best is this: the Chicago Bears are the redheaded stepchild of the NFL. They simply put exist, but many people don't know why. They're oddly the Benjamin Button of the NFL too, starting. But instead of starting out with a lot of knowledge at the very end, they seem to have lost any knowledge on how to run a football organization. But
True.
hopefully there's a sign to come with Caleb Williams, and if not, at least I'll go out eating chicken Alfredo.
Oh, so
Yeah, I will turn into the Joker. I will paint myself in Bears colors as the Joker, and I will do unspeakable things. That's all that needs to be said.
But honest question: would you rather have Drake May or Caleb Williams? I think
Caleb Williams.
because when I see especially with this draft class, I've never seen so much negativity towards a guy who could be first overall in a long time.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it. There's a lot of shit going around. A lot of media shit going around. Been going on
People
ever
are
since USC
obsessed with
really
media.
started to falter.
I want to do a good
People
comparison here because I want to go back to the draft year of Shane Wright for the Seattle Kraken, and he was hailed as the certified number 1 overall pick. It wasn't a good draft class, but Shane Wright was the certified number 1 overall pick in that class. He went number 4. Could we potentially see something where the Bears go, Caleb Williams, we think it's just too much of a headache for us to risk the first overall selection, whereas Drake May has been very quiet and still has a similar ceiling to Caleb Williams. So instead let's take Drake May instead of Caleb.
The only thing is this: how much of The thing is, the really big thing is how much of the media negativity is really, how much of it's true. That's my thing. Because is Caleb really a cancer? Is he really a guy who slacks off? Is he a guy who has work rate issues? And that's, I say work rate, I say, attitude issues, more in the, not in terms of him being a shithead or, being a cancer, but more like, work mentality. I think that's the one concern I really do have with Caleb is because watching USC, and this is my only issue with not just Caleb but also Drake May, is that watching them in college football last season, both of them definitely did take some steps back. And obviously, understand college and pro football are two different games, but at the same time, I just noticed that yeah, they weren't exactly as productive as I've seen them at their peak, and that's, it's not an end of the world issue, but it's more just something I've noticed. And I mean, I guess the thing is, it really is going to depend on the scouting and all that, because, well, obviously, they're the ones who, look at everything. They're the ones who see their behaviors, look at all of this, and they're the ones at the end of the day who decide who goes where, who should be the top prospect, and all that. And that's going to be the big thing with Caleb. And obviously, I mean, I will say it right now, I think every Bears fan with a ounce of sanity would agree on this, that I am already, well, I've been fucking tired of the Caleb Williams Justin Fields debate. I've been really tired. I'm just I'm just at the point where it's like, okay, you know what, wherever we go, I'm fine. You make a move, they might trade Fields next week. Okay, you know what, good. We got that out of the way. It's just, God damn, social media is a fucking shit stain. That's the summary of it. It's a shit stain.
I think the combine is going to explain a lot of things about where the Bears go from here.
Yeah, pro days are going to be important too, but the positive thing I will say about Caleb Williams, the game that really impressed me the most was the game versus Cal, where USC was down 3 scores. Their defense looked like they couldn't stop fucking preschool offense. But Caleb Williams
defense couldn't stop a peewee team.
But Caleb Williams completely took over that game and led USC to a victory versus Cal. That to me shows that I believe there's a lot of potential where Caleb Williams could succeed. And that's how I feel. He could succeed. Same thing with Drake May. I kind of am a little bit underwhelmed by Drake May's season. I thought, I'm pretty sure he was the best player at North Carolina, but I didn't see him really do much. I'd see him more impressive in Florida State's quarterback. FSU, they went undefeated. They managed to beat tough opponents down the stretch when it mattered, whereas North Carolina really had that chance and really didn't take that next step. And then you got Jalen Daniels out of LSU. I feel like he really stat padded against Grambling State. Oh boy, right? And
he still played great. I mean, the thing is, when I do these evaluations, I do look at I take away games where it's against a team like Grambling State, like Florida A&M or something. I take away those games. It's like, okay, I get a clear picture of how good of a quarterback this guy really is. And the thing is, honestly, the unfortunate thing with all 3 of these quarterbacks is I do wish that they had an actual defense to help them actually win games. That's the unfortunate thing, because I feel like if USC, if a team like USC or LSU had a defense, they would have been a lot better than what they turned out to be, and it would have obviously caused a lot more hype when it comes to an already hyped up quarterback class. But obviously that's in the past. That can't be changed, and all you can do, as it's already been said, it's really going to come down to training camp with this. It really, or not training camp, sorry, the draft work, the draft combine and all that. That's all that stuff. It's going to come down to that.
Here's my hot take on the Bears situation. The Chicago Bears should start a quarterback.
Okay. Yeah, it's did
That's
you
a
all
great.
see
That's a great way to end this off.
the last thing I want to see
Yeah.
to mention point like Dave Raputo has a fantastic comic that perfectly explains the situation that the Chicago Bears are currently going through.
I love Drop Relay Dave, honestly.
Draw Play Dave makes some of the best stuff out there. He is phenomenal at what he creates. It is.
It's XKCD for football,
Mhm.
if you know what.
Yeah, I retweeted that thing he made with the Bears fan base. I retweeted that.
Never has
So-
been truer, but we all know
That-
level heads will improve in the situation.
Well, let's see if King Poles does it again.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
All right, let me
All
go
right.
pull up Oz's number 18. He has the Miami Dolphins. What the fuck?
How does he have it that high?
That's
Oh,
pretty high.
Oops, I muted for like a second. Oops.
So he has the Miami Dolphins. Spencer, who's your 18?
My number 18 is. Let me go over to my lovely little JPEG. The Bears!
Yep.
You know, as much as, like, people, like, give Grossman a hard time, I'm not sure if he ever had a weapon he could throw it deep to other than maybe Bernard Berrien sometimes. You know, like, I'm, like, one of the few people that actually unironically thinks Rex Grossman would have succeeded in a place like Minnesota. Like,
I don't know
Well-
about that. I mean, he was way too inconsistent for his own good. He was. I mean, Rex Grossman. You can look on his Wikipedia page, and there's like a freaking. There is a chart of his quarterback rating, for game by game in the 2006 NFL season. There's a quarterback rating chart on his Wikipedia page that just goes up and down every freaking week.
like, I would have loved it for the 2009 season if instead of Brett Favre, we had Rex Grossman throwing to Sidney Rice and Percy Harvin. Like, that would have been fucking awesome. And also probably less problematic than Brett Favre to have Sexy Rexy. And, hey, they also made a Super Bowl. Wow. Congratulations. Congratulations, the Bears. And I'm also excited to see what Ryan Poles does. Although, no offense to the previous 10 years of the Chicago Bears, I am going to keep my expectations low for this franchise because...
I mean, I'll just say this regarding the previous tenure. All the guys on the 2016 through 2019 Bears teams are gone. Like,
Yeah.
all the guys from that era is gone.
Yeah, it's, I believe you said it best when I asked on Twitter just how bad was Ryan Pace, and you just responded with the Anthony Fantano not good gif.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right.
Ozza will not be joining us for the rest of the episode.
Oh, before we continue, a little update. The Western Illinois Leathernecks are embracing their football game by losing to St. Louis 20-6 in baseball.
Bruh. Bruh.
This isn't St. Louis, Missouri, though. This is St. Louis, the university in Millington, Tennessee.
Bruh.
Anywho,
Here
nerd
comes-
emoji.
All right, what does the dork bot say?
Dork bot.
It doesn't respond to dork bot.
What is the
He
geek?
gets shoved in the locker too much.
Yeah,
Eight-
great. What is it?
at
What
eight-
is its number 18?
We have the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, wow.
With a half point. So we're finally out of the negatives.
There we go. It's fixed.
All right. Number 17, I have the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay, you have anything to say about the Vikings that we haven't already said?
I feel the Vikings are... If I ever want to find a depiction of what the word mid is, I think Minnesota Vikings. It is average. I think the Vikings are pretty much the most average team I have there. The thing that's really impressed me the most about the Minnesota Vikings is the amount of legendary wide receivers that they have produced. Randy Moss, Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson, and I fully expect Jordan Addison to be a legendary wide receiver among this group of fantastic players that have happened. It's the one thing that that has haunted the Minnesota Vikings is a franchise tier A- or above quarterback, and I feel like if they've had one of those, they would win a Super Bowl hands down. I hope one day the Minnesota Vikings stop playing little brother and start being the big brother and beating the Green Bay Packers, who may have
Hey,
found...
we split. Like,
You have. Don't get me wrong. You have, right?
we're like literally the most competitive with them in the NFC.
They
North.
are,
Like,
but I want you to be less
Ain't
like
wrong.
a Nuzlocke rival in any Pokemon game, and be an actual rival that beats them in the playoffs to get to the Super Bowl. I want to see Super Bowl wins.
I mean, to be fair, I have we have played the Packers twice in the playoffs in this space of time, and we are 1-1 against them.
I want to see the Vikings do more, and I feel like they are a franchise tier quality quarterback away from doing it all. They are close.
I argue that their defense needs help.
Their defense does, but
Yes.
in the NFL,
I agree. I feel like the defense is their biggest issue, in my opinion, right now.
Yeah, especially that interior defensive line, which is why I'm fighting so hard for Johnny Newton in the draft.
I hope the Vikings get Penix Jr. so you have to watch VTubers for 100 hours.
And
Ah!
I hope the Seahawks draft Kool-Aid McKinstry so I can hear you fucking squeal like a pig.
Damn. Okay, damn. Alright. Mike McDonald, you have let me down. But anyways, I have the Vikings. I find the Vikings just average and there. I never consider the Vikings to ever be a bottom feeder. They're just there. And that's what I think about the Vikings. Aiden, who's having technical issues. Who did he have at 17?
At number 17, I have the Buffalo Bills. I really like what Josh Allen has done for the franchise. He's done a good job, getting them, the fact that they got even one AFC championship appearance is pretty good. But they're still a little bit off the mark for being a proper team, to make the Super Bowl and lose to the Niners.
Yeah, shit, fuck.
I'm sorry.
Lucas died.
No. I just spilled my rock star.
And you
Hate to
spilled
see
my
it.
rack.
Skill issue.
Just okay, wasn't that like
My rock star!
my rock star? My rock
Shut up.
My rock star, no. My caffeine. My
Alright, I guess I'll go. At number 17 while Luke cleans up his mess.
It's okay. I'm supposed,
Number
I drank
17.
in half the
He's a
cup,
messy
and
boy.
It's a little
He's messy,
spill.
alright. At
It's a
number
little
17, I have The franchise that truly just exists, the Tennessee Titans.
That is another franchise that I don't find is ever bad enough, but they're just kind of there.
Literally, they're so remarkable that Drawplay Dave's first comic about them is how they get ignored by the national media.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it feels. I've always felt like the Titans have been that team that just really gives me the vibe of, wow, this football team sure does exist. And really, the fact that we're including 1999 in this really does help them here, because, yeah, made the Super Bowl that year. Obviously, 1 yard short happened, but still, you made the Super Bowl even if you had one of the most heartbreaking losses in sports history imaginable happen to you. However, after that, the Titans still had some strong years in the 2000s. Most of them led to playoff exits without making the Super Bowl. Actually, all of them led to playoff exits before making the Super Bowl. So, weren't able to get back to the Super Bowl. And after 2008, when you went 13-3 and got knocked out by the Ravens in the divisional round because you didn't have a quarterback, that really felt like a turning point for the Titans, because 2009 was a disaster, or at least started horrifically, 0-6, including a game that I feel like cursed the Titans for a decade, that being the New England Patriots game where they lost 59-0.
Mm-hmm.
Also wearing the Oilers throwback unis.
Yeah, that's. I feel like a lot of the Titans' worst moments are a lot of justice served moments, like,
Yeah, I
where
would agree.
like 1 yard short in particular, to me at least, felt like karma catching up to them for the Music City Miracle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that was forward pass, by the way. That was a forward pass. And after that, I mean, the Titans, they really have been the football team that's always not bad, but mid. They are the definition of mid. And really outside of 2014 and 2015, where they went 2-14 and 3-13 respectively, it's always been mostly 6-10, 7-9 seasons, 9-7 seasons, and obviously for a little bit that did change with Mike Vrabel. You had the AFC Championship appearance in 2019, 11-5, 12-5 seasons respectively in 2020 and 2021, but those two seasons weren't able to take advantage of it. Lost to the Bengals after sacking Joe Burrow like 8 or 9 times, and they still couldn't beat them at their home field. By the way, they were the number 1 seed, and yet, yeah, got outplayed by the Bengals. And since then, it's not been the same. They are entering back into the rebuilding mode, and I expect the Titans next season to be in a full rebuild now that Henry is basically guaranteed to be gone, and Hopkins will also follow suit. You have Will Levis. Hopefully you don't ruin him. But yeah, Tennessee Titans, you truly exist.
I will say, those 7-9 seasons, take a wild guess who the Tennessee Titans head coach was for the majority of the.
Fisher.
Yep, Jeff
Fisher.
Fisher.
Ironically, I do just want to say this. Ironically, oh man, okay. Ironically, under Jeff Fisher, damn, I was gonna say they had only one 7-9 season under Jeff Fisher as the Titans. However, they did have a 7-9 season under him when they were still the Oilers. So, yeah, I guess that joke goes out the window. But yeah, point remains. Titans, you're mid.
You brought on the legend of Jeff Mitcher.
Jeff Midshire.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, where do you go after the Chicago Bears?
And Aiden is done for tonight, which means I will be filling in for him.
Oh yeah, you got all of this, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Aiden, good thing he isn't here because I have the San Francisco 49ers next.
Ooh.
Oh, shit. Damn, the first Niner gang pick hath fallen. Damn.
All I'm gonna say, if you have, there's a fine line between success and insanity.
True.
And the Niners are falling on the side of insanity. You can only have so much happen to you that you just have to accept that you are in a never-ending cycle. They say
I can kind of agree to that.
the thing is with the Niners, I think they have the potential to be a 3, a 5, a 7, but like, what have they done?
If they could just
Lose
win
to
a
the
ring,
lose to the Seahawks in the AFC Championship, lose
NFC.
to Big in the NFC Championship, lose to Big Brother LA in their new stadium, get upstaged by the Chiefs not once but twice, and then to cap it all off, losing to your brother at the Super Bowl. That is a resume for insanity. This is not good football.
And you
Well,
have
not good. I don't mean not good football. This is football that is painful. There's a difference between being a bad team and having bad seasons and good teams having good seasons come up short. And the 49ers are the paperboy for that. The only reason why they're not better than the Packers is that the Packers have won a championship. What have the Niners done? They made Super Bowls, but that's 3 Super Bowls they've lost. And they've also lost 2 conference championships where they could have been in the Super Bowl and probably won. Regardless, I don't have sympathy, and I feel like 17 is a good spot.
I agree.
Fair. That is fair.
And as that for Oz's number 17, we have Redacted. I agree with that one. What do you think?
We got the Minnesota Vikings at 17.
Yeah, pretty much all. I think we've pretty much exhausted what there is to say about the Vikings. That
Yeah.
I haven't already explained a million times to my therapist.
That poor therapist.
All right.
I make my therapist after I'm done with after I'm done doing a session with my therapist. They emergency dial their therapists.
It's the Leafs, man. The Leafs.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this is where I put the Tennessee Titans as well.
And
Cool.
and that's another one we've just talked about.
Yeah, pretty much all I have to say about them is that, like, have fun going back to, like, the late 2000s where you were just a repository for, players that were way past their prime, You're probably going to have Stefan Diggs next.
Now, I want to remind everyone before we get the nerd machine out. Remember, it valued wins it valued wins over playoff success for the most part.
It's the Cowboys, isn't it?
No, at .5, having a tiebreaker simply because they won a Super Bowl, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah. 2 Super Bowls actually.
Yeah, this was the only one where I had to put in some interference with, only just because I couldn't have I couldn't have two teams, be the same. So like, I was like, okay, how do I do tiebreaker? And then I was like, just have whoever won the Super Bowl, and thankfully, Buccaneers did. I don't really want to say much about them because, all in all, I mean, besides 2 Super Bowls, they are one of the most forgettable franchises that have had Mike Glennon as their starting quarterback, Blaine Gabbert, Jameis Winston.
Blaine didn't start a game, I think.
They've had 2 rings.
Yeah, Blaine was there to back up Brady.
Still.
Freeman.
Hey,
Oh,
Freeman
God.
was good for the 2010 season.
And
It
He
that
was. He
it.
was.
It was that one Monday night football game, which will forever put him on my shit list.
Yeah, I know.
Regardless, Tampa, the nerd machine has spoken. Luke, you're up.
That's a continent. At 16, I have the Atlanta Falcons.
We've exhausted them into the ground too.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
kind of they'll be known for failing so high. I consider, weirdly enough, I thought if Matt Ryan would have rebounded in Indianapolis, I would have considered him a Hall of Fame quarterback. I was calling him a Hall of Fame quarterback. I felt like he was going to put numbers very similar to Drew Brees, but some people just can't get over it. Losing.
And he had,
Yeah.
and he had perhaps the greatest choke of all time when he was with Indianapolis. 33-0.
Yeah.
The stuff
I
of
go
legends.
back to that. Once again, I go back to the fact that Matt Ryan had an MVP caliber season and nobody gave a shit because it was the Atlanta Falcons. That sums up Matt Ryan in a nutshell, in my opinion.
Also, I think he looks like a grasshopper.
It's unfortunate, but it is what it is with Mr. Matty Ice and the Falcons. And, could they?
What's that?
Oh, it's my
Yeah,
fiance. I linked her a VTuber horror. They're playing Poppy Chapter 3, and I think she's watching them right now.
Yeah, because I heard her scream.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's what I have at 16. Now I'm gonna go scare the shit out of her.
All right.
All right.
Let me know when I can be Aiden.
Anywho, this is no longer the Untitled Sickos podcast. This is now the Car Sausage, Nick Man, and Bears Fan Show.
I'd like to consider this a much better podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, two bears and a Viking podcast.
Two Bears, one Viking. Fuck, that's a name.
Yeah.
Good God.
Welcome to Two Bears, One Viking, where today we are talking about how the state of the NFC North is completely in shambles as the Bears are forced to do something, the Vikings are forced to do something, and the Green Bay Packers can only re-sign Jordan Love.
And it's and there ain't no love in the heart of this city, at least not for the Green Bay Packers.
True. Anywho,
We do have wacky segments on this show too, like like
did Nick Man eat that item? the World Trade Center.
Oh.
You're
Yeah,
deflecting.
Yeah, just leave it to me to eat the World Trade Center. Why wouldn't I do that?
And also,
You think I'm just gonna turn into a quagmire toilet and just consume the World Trade Center?
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. That's a classic Nick Man moment. Haven't you seen Nick Man funny moments on YouTube?
Yeah. It seems like I'm not gonna lie. It seems like Nick Man gets all the credit for like all of our funny moments, even though we're equally as funny.
Well, it's because we haven't made my Marby's t-shirts yet.
Oh my god, I forgot. We need to do more merch sales.
I just say the most
Anywho.
random crap imaginable. That's all I do here. I say the most random crap imaginable. That's why you hear shit like quagmire toilet eating the World Trade Center.
Wait, I just
Anywho,
put my
this has been
headphones
the
on
Two
as I
Bears
heard
and a
Quagmire
Anywho, this has
toilet
been
eating
Two
the
Bears
World
and a
Trade
Vikings.
Center. What?
We're unfortunate. We started a podcast while you were gone.
Yeah.
I made my fiance's phone jump 20 feet in the air.
Nice.
That's crazy. Did you
But
eat
yeah.
the World Trade Center?
Did you turn into Quagmire Toilet and eat the World Trade
No, I
Center?
became the third plane that hit the third tower.
Second plane, it was Luke controlling Freddy Fazbear twerking onto the second tower.
Okay, who did
The
Aiden have?
rotating ass caused 3,000 fatalities.
Who did Aiden have
The
for?
gyrating ass. Get it right.
Who did Aiden have for number 16?
Okay, at number 16, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which, despite them despite them winning 2 Super Bowls in this time,
He's high.
I have, for those of you who don't know, I have a bit of a vendetta against the Glazers. Because I think they ruined Man United. I don't like them very much. They're,
Why do you sound like Gru from the Minions? From Despicable Me.
see, I was actually kind of going for like Mr. Lunt from from VeggieTales. Anyway, yeah, at number 16, Aiden has the Buccaneers because he's told me this actually, because despite them winning 2 Super Bowls, he has little to no trust in the Glazer family to do the right thing because of how Man United isn't good.
I mean, they signed Tom Brady and he won them a Super Bowl. I think that's a great decision making.
Yeah. I think he's just ass hurt that his poor widow Man United doesn't do as good.
All right, Nick.
All right.
16.
Goddamn. Yeah. 16 for number 16. From here on out, all these franchises have made a Super Bowl in the past 25 years. And I know this one may be, this one is going to be lower than some teams that have made less Super Bowls and not won any. However, number 16, I'm going to go the Carolina Panthers.
Ooh.
Fair.
And this one, yeah, kind of a little bit spicy, not really massive, not really a massive hot take, because I am putting them with the teams that have made the Super Bowls, but not won any. But Carolina, they have made 2 Super Bowls in the past 25 years. So why am I putting them behind a franchise that, may have made 1 Super Bowl, but also not won any? Well, quite simple. When I see the Panthers, I see great seasons, and then I see really fucking awful seasons. It is cliffs and a fucking, there's so much, god damn, it's like going from Mount Everest to falling all the way to the Grand Canyon with the Carolina Panthers.
No, not even Grand Canyon. Detroit. You land in fucking 2003 Detroit.
Yeah, like, just looking at this franchise, like, for every 2003 where they made the Super Bowl, you have a 2001 where they went 1-15. For every 2000 2005 where they make the NFC title game. You have a 2010 where they go 2-14.
They are
And then
probably
obviously,
the most inconsistent team I have ever had the pleasure of seeing.
yeah, strong argument for that. And they did have a successful period under Cam Newton, Ron Rivera. They made the playoffs 3 straight years, and did make the Super Bowl in 2015 before Broncos defense happened and Cam Newton decided to give up. And since that moment, the Panthers have not been the same. And as many will know if you paid attention, ever since David Tepper bought the Carolina Panthers, to say that shit has hit the fan would be the understatement of the century. Because
I believe that
this
would be
team,
an insult to shit.
yeah, that is an insult to shit. Because this team hasn't had a winning record since 2017. They have freaking hell. They've had in the past. I gotta make sure I'm saying this right. Like literally in the past 5 seasons, the Panthers had a total of 6 head coaches, and if you include going into this season, that will be a total of 7 coaches in a span of, once the season starts, 6 seasons. That is unhealthy. Actually, that's more than unhealthy. That is the kind of shit that will kill you. Like, the Carolina Panthers, you better hope to God that this new regime, hopefully David Tepper will actually allow them to do what they gotta do, and you better hope to God that they can save Bryce Young, because no quarterback should ever have to go through what Bryce Young went through this past season, because that was a fucking disgrace.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I haven't seen a franchise this poisoned since the Cleveland Browns.
I fear
It's feeling like that. It feels similar vibes to the Cleveland Browns, and it's just, if Carolina doesn't get some miracles going for them, I'm saying it, just for a decade from now, we're going to be looking at them in the same way as the Cleveland Browns. We're already talking about them at the fact that they're on their way to becoming the next Cleveland Browns. Who knows where this team's going to be in the future, but with how David Tepper's been running things, I don't like it.
I don't like it.
Who was
radiates
Cleveland's
Stephen A. Smith energy.
first pick when they came back? Like Tim Couch, right?
Yeah, Tim Couch.
Bryce
Who
Young,
got
you are
ruined, by the way.
Bryce Young, you are a Tim Couch.
Oh,
I think Bryce Young is about to get Tim Couched into the ground.
but yeah, the way you said, I do not like it. Yeah, that felt very Stephen A. Smith to me.
Yeah, I need to put some emphasis on it with this franchise. Oh yeah, and thanks for DJ Moore, and thanks for the #1 pick. Obviously gotta say that.
That is the greatest fleecing of all time. You gave him a first overall pick and you got one back. I'm wondering if they could have made it like top 10 protected like they do in hockey, where our pick is top 10 protected.
I don't think those rules are in the NFL.
That's crazy. Because imagine if there was a hockey rule where your pick was top 10 protected, which means you would get next year's first instead. Even if it's the first overall pick, you still get it. But I just think that's got to be, without a doubt, the greatest fleece in terms of draft capital that I will ever see. The fact that the Bears gave away the first overall pick and are getting the first overall pick. On top of that, you can easily say that because they traded down to number 9, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're picking at 9 with their regular pick.
Mm-hmm.
So in theory, they've gotten themselves an elite wide receiver, a second round pick, and the first overall pick just by moving down to number 9.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think it's fair to say the Panthers have been bamboozled, hoodwinked,
Led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived. Yep. By the way, I just want to also add regarding the Panthers this season, the fact that The fact that a team offered the trade for Brian Burns for 2 first-rounders, knowing damn well how bad Carolina was doing, and the fact that they don't have a first-round pick, and the fact that they declined it is just hilarious. That's a Carolina Panthers moment right there.
Yeah, David Tepper might just be like, he's like a German sausage, you know that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, but you sure sound like the Joker in the background.
Are you gonna put the PS5 controller in your mouth?
Well, am I up next?
Yeah, it's you.
Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna have a fun time having to explain this team. But the Cincinnati Bengals are up next.
Ooh, the Bengals. We already have had a team had somebody pick that low on the Bengals. Oh, it was Luke.
Okay, yeah. Wait, what the fuck?
All I'm gonna say is the future is bright. A lot brighter than
kind of the
San
point.
Francisco's. And also, too, in my personal opinion, yeah, the wild card thing really sucked, but like, at least the Bengals have been consistently competitive. I mean, the Niners in like early 20s, and like other than that, they've been putrid. But yeah,
Okay.
Bengals.
Okay, yeah, it was on my PS5 controller.
Oh wow, you sound a lot louder.
Yeah, cause well, you see, my PS5 controller was over on my desk, and my mic is literally right. I'm laying on the floor because I have no PC chair.
But yeah, as the Neil is up next.
All right. He had at number 16. Someone wants to put white on the black back. Oh, I got it. Because I spoiler prevented. He put the Falcons at 16. So him and I think alike. Spencer, who do you have at 16?
Number 16, we have the Cincinnati Bengals.
It's crazy what getting a franchise quarterback does for your franchise.
Yeah.
If let me ask you this. Take Joe Burrow out, where would you put the Bengals? If Joe Burrow never was on the team, they never have made the Super Bowl or the AFC Conference Championship. If they didn't have Joe Burrow, but what number would you have the Bengals at?
Actually have them at 31, below the Dolphins.
I have them
They'd be a
at
lot
like
lower.
25.
They'd be in the 20s for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it would be 31 because without Joe Burrow, they wouldn't have a playoff win since 1990.
Mm-hmm.
And that's more
I might have them at 30. They literally the NFC North would have such like a polarizing thing because I have
AFC North.
Sorry, AFC North would be so polarizing because I have two of their teams in the top 5, and then I have two teams probably in the bottom 5. Which
Yeah, it's just like every high school essay where it's like, in conclusion, the AFC North is a land of contrast.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yep. 100%.
Nerd machine alert. Nerd machine
All right,
alert.
dork. What's your number?
It's
Give me
the
your lunch
nerd
money.
machine, not the dork machine.
I don't care. I'm putting it in a locker after the stream.
Yeah, and fucking give me your lunch money.
Yeah, I'm gonna get.
Yeah, we're
half
putting it
of
in a
to
locker and
Spencer.
burying it at the bottom of the sea.
Yeah.
Davy Jones locker.
What do you have at? Who does this dork have at 16?
Yeah, what's this Geekwat's number?
With 8 points, we have the San Francisco 49ers.
I forget how bad they really were until John Harbaugh and Kyle Shanahan took over. They were bad.
Yeah, that 2005 season was something to behold in a bad way.
The fact that Alex Smith would have been probably the biggest bust since Jamarcus Russell if it wasn't for Kyle Shanahan, who probably saved his career and his legacy.
I mean, Jim
Or,
Harbaugh.
sorry, Jim Harbaugh. Sorry.
Regarding
Yeah,
Alex
Jim-
Smith. Yeah.
Yeah, but like
Bruh.
the point still stands. It's just
Well, I mean, to be fair, he does say his biggest inspiration is Colin Cowherd, so I do expect him to get information like this wrong.
I didn't say Colin Cowherd's my biggest inspiration. Come on. Alright? If it wasn't for me watching Colin Cowherd, I would have never watched Urinating Tree, and I would have never met you guys. So give
Yeah,
us-
like I said, basic information wrong.
Whatever. Alright, now, at number 15, I have the Carolina Panthers. Another team that is relatively
We've beaten
close.
to death.
Beaten to death, yes. And yeah, I'm just gonna go. Whoever's next, go. We've already talked enough.
All right,
about
that
the
would be
Panthers.
Aiden, and he from Aiden is the Bengals, the Cincinnati Bengals. I am about to say who they so motherfucking loud, and I call them the Bengals because every time they score, Kofi on Twitter, he goes bing.
Anywho, team beaten to death. Nick, you're up.
Yeah, that's not gonna get any better. Cincinnati Bengals are my number 15. All I will say, yep, sleep all you want, motherfucker, sleep all you want. All I'm gonna say regarding the Bengals is if you really want to see how bad things got, like not in terms of being chokers, not in terms of underachieving like they did with Marvin Lewis, but if you want to see truly how awful this team was, just look at the late 90s and the early 2000s with the Bengals. They were horrific.
Oh, the Dick LeBeau years.
Truly horrific football for a fan to have to experience. And all I can say is, please, for the love of God, don't ruin Joe Burrow. That's all I
Oh!
ask for, you guys.
One
Don't
more
ruin
thing.
him.
One more thing to mention about the Bengals before we're done. You guys passed up on probably one of the biggest draft packages of all time to draft fucking Achilles Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Bro. Bro.
Yeah, wasn't that the same one as the freaking Saints draft class, the one where they made that trade?
Yeah, it was
Or
the
like
Saints that made that offer, and the Bengals
Yeah.
refused. The Bengals fucking refused.
Yeah, the Bengals refused a gift from Mike Ditka. They literally refused it, and that should really tell you. That should sum up the Bengals of the late '90s and early 2000s for you. That's how awful they were.
Ditka was like, please get better, and like Cincinnati was like, no.
Yeah, I'm good.
Anywho, do we have another snoozer from me? Oh, yes, I do. I have the Atlanta Falcons at 15. Guys, welcome to the legendary number of 15, where we will have nothing to talk about.
That's why for number 15 I have Marpies.
Shut up. Anywho, as the Neil. Oh my god.
Is it who I think it is?
It's the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh my god.
Incredible.
And guess who I have for number 15?
Cincinnati
The-
Bengals. Oh wait.
The Atlanta Falcons.
No. Carolina Panthers.
Oh my god.
We're so predictable, you know that?
We are.
At least it's going quick now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank God.
It is.
Well,
it
anywho, the nerd machine has something to say.
It says beep boop bop, give me a wedgie.
Mm-hmm.
coming in with a surprising 12 points is the Los Angeles Chargers.
Well, I mean,
Whoa.
they're snake bitten, but they have had lots of winning seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's be honest here. We've talked about
And you know,
Chargers a ton already.
and you know why the Nerdbot has it so high? Because Brandon Staley was an analytics geek,
Oh my god.
and it was
Yes.
Yeah.
it was just
Can
like,
we please not? Can we not bully the nerdbot for one ranking?
Okay,
I
fine.
can already feel its acne growing.
it simped for the Chargers because Staley's a nerd.
Okay, I'll be nice to it for one pick. Anyways, at 14, I have the San Francisco 49ers, the last team to not have won a Super Bowl on my list.
And another team we
Haven't talked a lot about.
Yeah, there's still more to talk about.
I mean, the thing with San Francisco, and the thing that that's kind of like the main team I want to talk about, is this team will eventually be at a point where it is do or die, right? All the teams that are above them have won a Super Bowl. They've accomplished the goal that every team should have by now. We forget that in the early 2000s, they were very, very bad. From the 2000s...
Not just the early 2000s, the whole decade.
The whole decade. Up until they got Jim Harbaugh. John.
Hardball. It is Jim. You said it right,
Yep.
and then you
It's
corrected
Jim.
yourself.
It's Jim. Okay, sorry. I felt like I said it wrong. I felt like
His name doesn't end in a V. It's just Hardball.
Okay, the Stafford Harbaugh. There we go.
Oh.
So, ever since before then, they were probably the worst team I've ever seen. Failure after failure. And after Stanford Harbaugh, failure after failure after failure. Do you know what happens when Jim Harbaugh got fired? Their entire starting defense either retired or left for free agency. That's how bad it was.
That 2015 season was bad.
It was so bad, right? Because he lost the power struggle. And, do you think the players are going to side with the GM or the head coach they really liked? That set him back a whole lot. Instead of a reload, they had to completely tear it down and rebuild.
Would you be
And-
okay?
And if you thought 2015 was bad, just wait till 2016.
Mm-hmm. They were
yeah.
bad. And even during that span, they did not draft well until they got Nick Bosa. Which
Yeah,
is...
I remember people saying John Lynch was a mistake of a hire.
Now they got John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. Sure, they've dealt with a lot of injuries, but this is a team that is competitive. But...
Can't take it over the hump.
It's do or die. I think once Brock Purdy is, I think at the end of year 4, do 7th round picks have a 5th year option?
Let me see what the terms of his contract are, actually.
Because I don't even think he has a 5th year option. And the thing is, you're going to have to pay him conference championship and a Super Bowl appearance. Pay up.
In his first 2 years.
Get ready to
And
pony up.
He is the pride of Iowa State, by the way. love that man.
Brock,
I can't believe.
keep in mind, he's making less than 1 million per year.
Let's see, here it is. His contract is 4 years at 3.7 million.
Mm-hmm. So less than $1 million per year. Is there any 5th-year options on it?
Nope. He becomes a UFA in 2026. So they have 2 more years.
Get ready to fucking pay up.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll talk a bit more about the 49ers when that comes up on mine.
It's gonna be soon time to pay up. I think the Niners are still gonna be very competitive, but if they don't do it this year, I think in 2026, the football year of 2026, it is get her done. It is win. That is probably the best chance to win before a lot of guys are gonna get paid. You're gonna have Ayuk under a big massive deal. You're gonna have Kittle on a big deal. Debo is probably going to be asking for more money. You're going to have to now pay Brock Purdy, Nick Bosa. If you want to keep certain players, you're going to have to pay up. And I genuinely think with the direction that the Niners are going into, Brock, if I'm Brock Purdy, I'm like, yo, you guys need to pay up. I've made less than $1 million per year at the most valuable position in the NFL. I've led you to constant playoff success. I am a winning starter, and I've improved year to year. I think I should be making $50 million, and he'd be right.
Yeah, he'd absolutely be in the right asking for a big payday.
I spent my first 3 years renting an apartment in San Francisco where I have to share it with another teammate. Pay up.
He actually had to go back to Iowa to farm corn to make more money.
Mm-hmm. So
this
Brock,
is not true.
I'm pretty sure it's not true. It is Brock's gonna want some big money back.
Yeah,
real
you better
soon.
Pay him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is worth every cent he is owed.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what did Aiden have? Bengals. Falcons, which has been discoursed to death.
Mm-hmm.
What about
I
you,
shall
Nick?
go next. Yeah, and you know what? Seems the trend here is that we are very predictable, because at number 14, I have the San Francisco 49ers. And look, if you really want to just see how bad it gets, like, the Niners have had plenty of highs. You made the Super Bowl. You made the Super Bowl multiple times. And it's like, if this team had just won at least one Super Bowl in the past 25 years, they would easily be top 10. Like, there wouldn't be a debate. They'd be top 10, in my opinion, without a question. But,
Yeah, that's how I feel.
good God, the lows of this team in the 21st century. I mean, let's just list off some names for y'all. Dennis Erickson, Mike Nolan, Mike Singletary, Jim Tonsula, Chip Kelly. Like, those, I mean, you say those names to a Niners fan.
Don't forget.
You say those names to a Niners fan, there's at least a 50% chance they might jump you.
Look, pretty much the only thing I remember about Mike Singletary is his "can't win with them" speech, and also the fact that he fucking dropped his pants in the locker room to motivate his guys. Like, what the fuck?
The sad thing is, of the coaches that I mentioned, he was easily the best of them, and that's fucking sad.
Yeah,
that is
that's
fucking sad.
Like, how many things of CTE do you gotta have going on in your brain to think that's a good idea?
By the way, speaking of Jim Tomsula, I hope people know he's coaching football in Europe right now.
That's Tom Sula, the Mike Rula, bro.
Tom Sula, yes, I know. Jim Tomsula, yeah, I keep fucking up, I know.
No, I mean,
No,
like, put some respect on his name.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad you corrected me. I didn't know it. I know damn well I haven't been pronouncing it right. But
No,
seriously, he's coaching the European League of Football.
I mean, he's mostly just Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, especially considering one of his post games. He ripped a really loud fart on the podium.
Yeah.
Do you,
And I
anybody
mean,
else remember that?
yeah, I've seen that video. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that video of Tom Stewart doing that. And also, like, I mean, literally, it feels like these guys weren't just bad coaches. They were very notable bad coaches. I mean, Mike Nolan is literally known as that awful coach who would always wear a suit on the sidelines, like, which is like, yeah, I'm like, look, good fashion game, but like, dude, you are when that is the most notable thing about your coaching tenure, that's not a great sign. I mean, all I say for the Niners is be thankful for Jim Harbaugh. That you be thankful you had him. Be thankful for Kyle Shanahan. Even if it can be frustrating at times, the man is him and Harbaugh are easily the best coaches you've like by a fucking landslide. The best coaches you've had in the 21st century. And all I'm gonna say is, Niners, you better win the damn Lombardi at some point because you don't want to go back down the same route that you did after you fired Harbaugh.
Came a disaster.
Boy, oh boy, I needed that. Oh shit.
So at 14, I have the New York Giants.
Hey, gabagool.
Yeah.
Right, get in all your Jersey jokes, ladies and gentlemen. I'm walking.
Just remember, they're not funny.
I'm walking in.
Gobbledygoogle the doos.
But yeah, we're starting to get into like the good territory, which like
Hey, what's the matter with you, mooks?
Bunch of mooks.
I think the one thing I can say about the Giants is that they're definitely not boring. They've always been entertaining.
Yeah, especially since they got Mr. New Jersey himself, Tommy DeVito, who is. I am very glad that he is starting to fill the shoes that Gardner Minshew once did, of meme backup quarterback. Oh my God, DeVito's gonna beat Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
Oh God.
And then all of America is gonna start doing the Italian hand thing.
If that happens, if Tommy DeVito beats Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, I will travel to New Jersey for one day.
do vlog though if you do that.
But yeah, I don't really have much else to say other than, the Giants, they won 2 Super Bowls. Other than that, it's vaguely irrelevant.
All right, Ozza, what did you get? Where's Luke?
Yeah, right here. Sorry. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He picked Tampa Bay.
All right.
Oh
And-
shit! I guess my mic didn't. Okay, so if Tommy DeVito beats Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, I will fly out to meet every single one of you just to give you a high five. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. Just good old high five.
All right, Dad.
Good old Spencer. Who do you have?
I have the San Francisco 49ers. Which
We've kind of talked about them a lot this.
Well, hang on a second. I've been saving my own thoughts for now.
Right? Yeah, I'm just saying. It seems like there's a lot of general consensus on what we think the Niners are.
This team reminds me a lot of the Eagles in the 2000s. When they had Donovan McNabb and Andy Reid. Where they were really good. They'd be the terror of the NFC, but they could just never get over the hump. They were always going full Reid, or like Donovan McNabb was puking on the sideline. Uh, just not great. Not a good scene. Not a good look. Uh, Real ugly. Uh, and other than that, let's remember some people who played for the 49ers at quarterback since 1999.
I get the hiccups at the worst time.
All right, so we have Steve Young, Steve Stenstrom, Jeff Garcia, Tim Rattay, Ken Dorsey, Alex Smith, Cody Pickett, Trent Dilfer, Sean Hill, Chris Weinke, JT O'Sullivan, Sean Hill, again, Troy Smith, Colin Kaepernick, Blaine Gabbert, Jimmy Garoppolo, CJ Beathard, Brian Hoyer, Nick Mullins, Trey Lance, Brock Purdy, and Sam Darnold. Just a few people to remember. Of all these names, I can't believe JT O'Sullivan is a real name. Like, that baffles me.
Same.
But yeah, that's about all I have to say about the 49ers, other than, I'm sure Aiden's going to glaze them when the time comes due. All right,
The bot, we have to be nice to everyone pick. Bot, what did you pick at 14? Please tell us.
Yeah, it's so interesting.
At 14, the bot has decreed the St. Louis Rams.
St. Louis, Los Angeles Rams.
The St.
But,
Louis
yes.
Rams. Thanks, bot. You did
they-
good.
Yeah, that's a good choice, bot.
Good choice.
I
So,
agree.
now, all the remaining teams have won a Super Bowl. At numero 13, the Denver Broncos.
Numero 13.
The Denver Broncos. Broncos country. Let's ride. And they should be kissing their stars that they're even this high. Because take Peyton Manning out of the Denver Broncos, and I find the Broncos to be, pretty bad. Like, for
Well, I
real.
mean-
Take Peyton Manning out, where would you put the Broncos?
Let's see.
Right
In the
next to
20s.
Papa's
20.
Right next to
Yeah,
In the
easily in the
Pizzeria.
high 20s. The
I'd put
fact-
him right around I'd put him right around the San Diego Chargers, honestly.
I still put them in the low 20s. Sorry, the high 20s. This team had really great when they had Peyton Manning. Outside of that, not so much. It's been them trying to find a long-term franchise quarterback since Elway has left. And since Elway has been a part of the big decisions, he's not found them a long-term solution at quarterback. And I'm pretty sure when we get to Spencer's turn, when he lists whatever number he lists the Denver Broncos, He's going to list off all the starting quarterbacks that they have tried. This number is pretty big. If it wasn't for Peyton Manning, they'd be in the low 20s. And cherish that Super Bowl, boys, because celebrate the fact that Peyton Manning may just be the best quarterback that's played for this team since John Elway.
And fuck you for making Brandon Perna cry.
Yeah. Perna is... Like, again, I'm hearing the same thing. Yo, we're going to get rid of Russell Wilson. Surely things are going to turn around. We're going to be better. And then I say this to about every single AFC West team. You're in the same division that Patrick Mahomes has. Patrick Mahomes at one point had an entire NFL season, a full 17 NFL season, where if he played your team every single week, you would be 0-17. Since Patrick Mahomes has entered this division, they are 1-18 versus Mahomes.
I also think it's hilarious that they're going, all right, Russell Wilson, we're getting rid of him. That's going to be exciting in Denver. And I say, well, what's the solution? And they're like, J.J. McCarthy. And I'm like, you're smoking crack.
If you think J.J. McCarthy is going to... Like, again, I think Brandon Perna, when he said on Clickbait, I believe he does have the right opinion on this. I think they should keep Wilson for one more season so you can draft and develop a quarterback to take over Russell Wilson when the time is up. Because I have a feeling that even if Denver does take a quarterback in the second round, he's not going to be the solution. He's going to be the poor kid that's chucked out there as the Broncos goes 3-14 and they get Shedeur Sanders instead.
According to Tankathon, they have the Broncos taking J.J. McCarthy 12th overall.
Ugh, that's just a waste. I could see
over
that.
Penix and Knicks.
I believe that they would take J.J. McCarthy in the second round. I think there are other issues that need to be addressed on this team. But the thing with Russell Wilson, it's, he's about to get cut. They're about to eat so much dead money from his contract.
They're already $11 million in the hole as we speak, and that's with the new NFL numbers.
Mm-hmm.
By the way,
unless you're what I could see happening is Denver's going to be sending picks just to move off of the cap number for someone to swallow.
Just like Osweiler. Just like Osweiler.
So a team can swallow that deal. You're going to have to give somebody a pick. But even then, do teams want to take Russell Wilson for $48 million for the next 5 years?
Well, let's take a look at who can swallow all that contract.
And even though who can't, it's who wants to. Right? The only team that I could see is possible is the Falcons.
The New Orleans Saints, the spot track is broken again.
I saw that today. It's broken.
It only has 8 players signed.
I saw that early. I saw that early today too. I saw that.
Yeah.
So my thing with the Denver Broncos is, they're either cutting Wilson or trading him, which I think is just entirely stupid. I think Sean Payton is. It's going to be the full-on John Gruden effect where anybody worth a damn is going somewhere. I look at the first-round pick in Jerry Jeudy that they got, and he might just be an average wide receiver with
an above-average mouth.
with a mouth that needs to fucking can it, because what have you done at the NFL level? You haven't done really much. We say how many times you're so close to just really breaking onto the scene, and you're outdone by Tim Patrick and Cortland Sutton. You're outdone by those players, and yet
Yeah, the
you
Broncos need to have serious questions about.
Also, how bad was the 2009 was it 2019 Henry Ruggs, Jerry Jeudy, that first round wide
That was
receiver group?
2020.
Yeah, that was
2020?
2020.
How bad has that wide receiver class have been?
Well, Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb came out of it.
Except guys
Yeah,
that
it's
are
a high
later
low.
on. I can't blame Justin
High
Jefferson.
low
Oh yeah.
point.
Also, who did the Eagles take?
Jalen
Jalen
Rager.
Jalen
Wow.
Rager. Like how many?
Yeah.
Like was it like 3 swings and misses at wide receiver before Justin Jefferson got the call?
And of course, it was Minnesota because we must always have elite wide receivers for some reason.
Mm-hmm. And then also that Seattle taking DK Metcalf. You know, it was 2019, right? DK.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
2019.
2019 was DK Metcalf. Okay.
No, see, let me take a look and see what the Seahawks did because I'm pretty sure they did.
Wasn't that
they
the year we constantly traded down?
No, this was the year you took Jordan Brooks, the pick right before Patrick Queen.
But Jordan Brooks is a stud. Jordan Brooks is not a bust. He's played very well in Seattle.
Oh,
He's
good
led
to
the
know.
he's led the team. Like Jordan Brooks, like Patrick Queen hasn't done much in Baltimore. Jordan Brooks has done more than Patrick Queen has, so it's he's in my opinion at least he's been
What
or
else
should
of the
be a
Vikings?
hit.
What else did the Seahawks do? They drafted Darrell Taylor, Damian Lewis,
Yeah.
Colby
Okay.
Parkinson.
Overrated. A tight end that they're gonna use next year. Really never had a number 1 role.
DJ Dallas,
Probably gets cut.
Alton Robinson,
Never heard of him.
Freddie Swain,
Okay, wide receiver. Not on the team anymore.
and Steven Sullivan.
Never heard of him. Never heard of him.
Yeah.
So it was an okay draft class, but look at the wide receivers. Oh boy.
All right. Let's see. We got
I'm just looking at the Broncos. Hold on. I'm looking at the Broncos in the 2020 draft, and I looked at the second round. They took KJ Hamler, who really never amounted to anything,
Except
over
injuries.
cornerback. Yep, over Jalen Johnson, who has been a beast for the Bears, and Trevon Diggs.
Woof. Like the
Youch.
Broncos have been so bad at drafting. Even like when they have the opportunity where it looks like it could go in a direction, they've been very bad. But it
And
comes, I wonder how long it takes before they just show John Elway the door. I really wonder how long it takes before John Elway is shown the door, because
Is he even a part of it anymore? Is John even still there?
he is the president.
yeah.
He's the president of football ops. He was fired via promotion to president.
And
Oh.
yeah, this was like for me, this was like the last really good draft from, or the last good draft from Rick Spielman.
So
Because
yeah, with that, that's why I have the Broncos at 13. I think stuff could change in a positive direction if John Elway is shown the door. Like, thank you for your legacy in Denver. Congratulations on your Hall of Fame career, but you haven't done anything for us since you took a front office position. They need to move off of him, and hopefully Walmart figures out that, hey, maybe we should really move off of him. But congratulations on the fact that you brought Peyton Manning to your team for what, 3 seasons? 3, 4, 4, 3?
it was 4.
4 seasons.
It was 2012, 2013, 2014, and 2015.
At least you got him a ring. If it wasn't for that, the Broncos would be in the 20s.
They would be poverty otherwise.
Who does Aiden have
Alright.
at 13?
You're not gonna believe this. His favorite quote: "Broncos country, let's ride."
Good minds. I wonder if we're gonna have a. Could this be the one where we all agree? I wonder. I wonder.
Oh, you're in for a good surprise.
Who's at
Because
13?
at number
Nick?
13, I'm taking the Denver Broncos.
Oh.
Take
We got
it.
nothing else to add.
Take
Other than
it.
Taken.
this is the only thing that I have to say about the Denver Broncos. Oh, where is it? The only thing I have to say about the Broncos is this.
Yes.
All right, what do you got taken?
All right, Tegan.
Honestly, I misplaced my ranking. Could you actually do As's next
Okay.
as I find it?
Let me whip up my file or someone can just white out the black.
Okay.
Just make the
Ozza
background.
had the Denver Broncos.
Holy fucking shit.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh,
Spencer, who did you have 13? Please tell me of the Broncos. Come on.
I had Sean Payton's
Oh, it's the Saints.
other team.
It's the Saints. Oh man, I was hoping it was the Broncos.
Fuck it!
Damn.
I get to grind my axe against these stupid ass bayou living ass motherfuckers.
Bye.
Fuck the Saints, bro. Like, holy shit, they've done nothing but be a disappointment except for when they decided, hey, what if we give our players money for injuring other players? And then they won the Super Bowl, and then the football gods were like, you can't do that, as they should, and then they've been mediocre again. But, that 2017 draft, we're gonna do it! We're gonna make the Super Bowl! And then they proceeded to shit themselves in Minnesota. They shit themselves against the Rams. They shit themselves to a 6-seed Minnesota at home. And then they shit themselves. And then Mickey Loomis is like, I'm gonna be a cap god. I'm gonna roll this cap down the road. And now they're just... And yeah, it's been great for the New Orleans Saints. It's been terrific for them. Isn't it so great that they're $38 million? All hail $38 million over the cap. All hail the New Orleans Saints.
Hey, dork butt. Who do you have at?
I
Who do you
didn't
have
go.
at 13?
I found mine.
Oh, Tegan. Please tell me
Anywho,
it's the Denver Broncos.
I had mine pulled up because I wanted to be the one to ruin everything. Because I did not have Denver, I had Buffalo.
You got Buffalo that high? Wow.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. I would have loved it if we had it. Because, like, I'm pretty sure 1 and 2 are the same. 1 and 2 are the same. I was hoping we would all say the same one for one of them. Damn!
And for
Sorry, I hate the Saints.
Anywho, the nerd bot has next in 13th place the Tennessee Titans.
Beep boop.
No wonder I never liked that bot.
Yeah, give him a wedgie.
Yeah.
Give him a swirly.
Alright, at
Okay.
12, I have the New Orleans Saints.
Fuck them.
The thing about the Saints is they have, to me, in my opinions, in my honest opinion, I think Sean Payton is quite overrated for his coaching tenure. I said overrated. Why are you saying fuck you? I said overrated.
I said thank you.
Oh, sorry. I heard the other one. Sorry.
Fuck you.
That just might be what I'm used to hearing.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, the think about where, yes, the Saints have won a Super Bowl, but I feel like they're mostly known for that. You know that stretch where they constantly went 9-7 because they didn't have a defense.
7-9 for the record.
7 and 9.
Sorry, 7 and 9. My bad. Because they could always beat like the really good teams, but never the bad teams. The teams where it would on paper you assume would be an easy win. You can't forget Bountygate, and the fact that Drew Brees wasn't drafted and developed by the Saints, he was drafted by the Chargers and signed in free agency with the Saints. Great move at the end of the day, but I really felt like with Drew Brees, as good of a quarterback that he was, you feel like they could have just done so much more with Drew Brees. Yes, they've won a Super Bowl, but again, I take that Super Bowl out, and I kind of find them worse than the Falcons and the Vikings. It's
Yeah, especially because them not winning that Super Bowl likely means the Vikings move up a tier.
yeah, it's forgettable, right? Bountygate was not real. Bountygate was just bad. It's bad for football. The amount of just sheer and utter playoff failures this team has, the fact that they've never won a Super Bowl, we'd have a legacy of failure video too for the New Orleans Saints in all of its spectacular fashion. We would have a Dorktown video on this. It would just be nothing but pure art. But no, they have to have one Super Bowl ring under their belts. Lots of memorable moments, lots of great players, but now, again, like Spencer said, over the cap. But at the end of the day, the salary cap is a social construct, and I really feel the salary cap is not really going to matter for the Saints anytime soon, because they were at 80. Now that $38 million is it's way more manageable than what it was before.
I still have to doubt you on that, because it really feels like, ever since Drew Brees left, that core has just been rotting there.
It is. It's a core that... It's a core
they had to give up solid depth because of all that cap management they have to do, and everybody says it's a social construct, but I think that they're paying in other ways, and I think they should have just blown it up when Drew Brees left, but the show must go on for whatever god awful reason.
And the thing that to note too, the NFC South is the weakest division on the planet, and they still can't get a division title. That says a lot more about just how bad the Saints have been. It's just failures, and even still to the end of this day, right? They've gotten a Super Bowl. There is some success here, but imagine if they didn't win that, we would have a legacy of failure video on the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, congratulations, New Orleans. All it took was one of the worst bounty programs in the National Football League history.
And again, stop whining about the pass interference call. That's just a skill issue that you have to overcome.
Yeah, what was that you said during the Bounty Gate shit? Good teams overcome bad calls? That's what I always felt like that no call was, divine punishment for Bounty Gate.
Fair enough. All right, who did Aiden have at 12?
At 12, he had the New York Giants.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
All right, number 12 for me. At number 12, since it's my turn. Honestly, with the last two teams in this, it can be a coin flip, because, yeah, one of them has one more Super Bowl than the other. But also the fact that I feel like the other team, even with their very noticeable flaws that have recently been talked about, I do feel like they've at least been more consistent than the other, and that's why number 12, I am also putting the New York Giants. And the thing with the Giants is, look, obviously, the fact that they have won 2 Super Bowls is great. It's impressive how they did it. The fact that both seasons, nobody saw it coming. That both seasons, they had to do it against Tom Brady and the hoodie. And both seasons, they ended up pulling it off. And that's very impressive. I mean, Giants fans should obviously be grateful for those Super Bowls. Always cherish them. You know, the fact that you got to humiliate Tom Brady twice is something that many, I'm sure every NFL fan base would dream of. However, I do value, obviously, I have a massive value for Super Bowls here, but I also value consistency when it comes to teams that have won a Super Bowl and having to rank them one over the other. Because, good God, there's been so much bad Giants football in recent times. Like, the Giants are still one of the most well-known teams for obvious reasons. They play in the biggest market. But good God, ever since they won that second, ever since they beat New England in 2011, it has just been all downhill. That and, of course, the infamous boat party. The infamous Odell Beckham Jr. inviting everyone on the boat. And then, of course, getting murdered by the Packers in the wild card round. And just ever since then, it's just been just embarrassment after embarrassment for the New York Giants.
I'm just
They're
gonna,
called. They're not called the Derp for no reason. They're not
I'm,
called the Derp for zero reasons.
I'm just gonna say it. Vikings boat scandal was way cooler.
I mean, and just the amount of bad coaches the Giants went through after Tom Coughlin retired. I mean, Ben McAdoo. I mean, I have never seen a head coach fall off as hard in one season as Ben McAdoo did. From going, 11-5, making the playoffs. Getting a team that hadn't made the playoffs since they last won their Super Bowl. It looked impressive. And then the following season, it became one of the worst, one of the most disastrous seasons the NFL has ever seen. Like, whenever I think of the 2017 Giants, I think of Al Michaels saying on the broadcast, the Giants are coming off a worse week than Harvey Weinstein. That was the 2017 Giants in one sentence. And it really didn't get much better, because that Shermer era didn't go well. Gone after 2 years. You draft Daniel Jones, which gave us some hilarious reactions. And then, of course, you have the Joe Judge era, which, all that needs to be said, quarterback sneak in your home, a quarterback sneak on like a 3rd and 10, or like 3rd and 9, whatever it was.
4th and 9.
Yeah, a quarterback sneak in your own, in your own fucking 10-yard line or something. A quarterback sneak because you have no fucking faith in your offense. You have zero faith to the point where you're having to call a quarterback sneak in one of the most pathetic play calls in NFL history. And don't forget Joe Judge basically crying to the media, telling the media to go kiss my ass when he said, oh yeah, there's players, they all want to play for me again. Oh, there's players that left, they beg on their knees that they could play for my coaching again. They beg that they could play for me again. It was the most gutless shit that I have seen from a football team. And it is amazing how hard the Giants fell in just one decade. And I will say, while it hasn't been perfect by any means, definitely this past season there was a lot of humiliating moments. Brian Dable is definitely an improvement over the previous 3 head coaches an improvement by a good margin for sure. And at the very least, a guy who has made it more than 2 seasons, which, yeah, Giants haven't had since Tom Coughlin. So I still see hope with the Giants. I still see that, okay, there is something at least built here. It's really going to come down to how the Giants, go from here, how Brian Dable does. Can he keep building that, locker room that he really did rebuild from the ground up after the god-awful 2021 season. He got him to the playoffs, beat the Vikings because Ed Donatel is a hack, and, hey, one coach of the year. One coach of the year for a reason. I mean, the Giants right now are a franchise that I do see on the upswing, but good God, have they, in their mirror, do they have some awful shit to look at?
Alright. Tegan, you're up.
Well, coming in at the respectable 12th place, we have the New Orleans Saints, and I feel like for the most part everyone said that I would want to say. The only thing that I will really add to this conversation is that pushing Cap down the road affects the team in a different way that you think, because if you're just going to sign eternally mid players to contracts, you're not going to be good.
Fair point. All right, who did Ozza have? You just have to. I have him. I have his all written down. You just have to just change the backdrop to.
Yeah, drum roll, please. The LA St. Louis Rams. Okay.
Fair enough. All right, Spencer, who do you have for 12?
At number 12, who do I have? It's not Google Maps. It's
Google
the.
Maps.
Fuck you.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, that's. I understand.
You know, for all the hype that's been put around them, I don't think they've accomplished nearly as much as people like to suck them off.
Well,
about.
spoiler alert, I have them at 11, yeah. As much, I think they're considered more of a failure than success. You have 2 back-to-back Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
You have a potential new Hall of Famer in Jordan Love, who could ceiling is still to be determined. They've dominated the NFC North, which again, to give all credit, is really good. But I feel like they really should have more than one Super Bowl in these 25 years.
Yeah, 30 years of Hall of Fame quarterback play, and you have as many Super Bowl rings as Eli the Dirt Manning. That's kind of that's bad. That's very bad. One might say.
That is really, really bad. I mean, because we can keep talking about the Packers because I have them at 11 anyways, and I'll just mark them down at 11. We'll get to the nerd bot after we go all over 11s. Because the thing that perplexes me is like, how Aaron Rodgers, yes, really good player, right? Rodgers is a really, really good player, right? But I found him more of a diva than anything else, you know?
And I'm glad that everybody outside of the NFC North is finally starting to realize that.
I feel, again, Aaron Rodgers is an incredibly talented diva, right? It's, again, people look back at such a genius he is. I'd hate to coach for this guy, because do you know how many times he would purposely throw the ball away if he did not like a third down call that was done by Mike McCarthy, right? Like,
or Matt LaFleur.
Like, he does that so much. To where you have Jordan Love, to where his personality traits are really to be determined, which is, again, if he's on the really immature side, I feel like that's going to determine your outcome. It's like, yeah, I'll see you winning a Super Bowl, but like nothing more than anything else. Look back to all their NFC Championship appearances they had, and all the duds they have laid, the goose eggs that they have just left.
And also their fans are crappy.
I mean, I feel like doomerism is a weird word, but that's just because one person.
Well, less said about the cheeseheads, the better. Less said.
I mean, because most of the guys here are NFC North fans, like 100%. And they've been tortured by the Packers for so long, and that's my best advice to Lions, Bears, and the Vikings. Find a franchise quarterback that has a higher ceiling than Jordan Love. You have to find one in the next 2 years, or you're going to be watching the Packers yet again laugh their way to dominating the North again. Now, just go out and win more than one Super Bowl with Jordan Love, please, so we can stop looking at you as like the most overrated franchise in existence, which I think that is true with the Green Bay Packers. I can honestly think that, we talk about how overrated the Cowboys are, but at least the Cowboys during the Troy Aikman era was legendary. They was a dynasty. What about guys like Rodgers and Favre? One Super Bowl ring and a lot of playoff failure to go with it.
Yeah, and yet all you hear from people like ESPN about the Green Bay Packers is just that good old.
Okay. Spritz. Yep.
Moving on.
You're done.
By the way, did the nerd bot go for number 12?
No, I interrupted
No,
because
the
I was
Nerd
gonna
Bot
have.
was
I wanted to talk about the
interrupted.
Green Bay Packers because I had them at 11. So Nerdbot, what do you got?
With 35 points, we have the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah,
All right.
successful. All right, who did Aiden have at 11?
Aiden had the Minnesota Vikings, and you know what? The last episode I spent kind of trauma dumping about the Vikings. I think it's only fair and balanced that I kind of, at least somewhat reasonably, go over the things that the Vikings have done right. If you don't mind me essentially, glazing over the Vikings for like 3 minutes. I really like that. It seems like the owners now, Mark and Ziggy Wilf, seem like they actually care about the organization and about Minneapolis in general. U.S. Bank isn't just a nicer stadium than what they've had in the past. It's also a community redevelopment project, and also the way they funded it with pull tabs, and with how early they've achieved their funding. That money is now being able to be utilized for projects like more light rail and bus rapid transit in the Twin Cities areas, which I think that's pretty cool. And also, I think the Vikings have been pretty good at drafting wide receivers like Percy Harvin or Stephon Diggs or Justin Jefferson or lately Jordan Addison. And even though Kirk Cousins isn't quite in that A- tier quite yet, I've really liked what Kirk Cousins has brought to this offense. He's really good with that deep ball, I think, and he's pretty well tempered in the pocket, and gall darn it, I like this team a lot, actually. And there are many positive things to say about it, like the fact that we've had so many chances to go to the playoffs. Not many other teams get to say that they do. And also, U.S. Bank Stadium, it's honestly a badass stadium, and the Performance Center is really cool, as is the Vikings Museum, which I recently have had the privilege of going to when I visited Minnesota. It's pretty cool to see all their history and how far they've come, and how much they honor a lot of their older players, like Randy Moss or Frank Tarkenton or Bud Grant. And I think this is a very well-run organization, and that's why I'm kind of excited to see what Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah does this offseason, because it's kind of a huge turning point for the Vikings, and I think it should be an interesting one, and I have faith in the people to do the right thing.
Also, I'm gonna be honest with you, Spencer. I've seen you have more optimism about the Minnesota Vikings than I've seen with Gage and the Green Bay Packers.
Thank you. I think.
You can never be a doomer in my heart, Spencer.
Yeah, I just had a thing with my coworker. You know, I made a bit of a self-deprecating joke, and they were like, "Hey, do good things about yourself right now." So that's kind of where that segment came from.
All right, coolio. Nick, who do you have at 11?
At number 11, I mean, there's a toss-up between them and the Giants for this, because Giants do have one more Super Bowl than them in the past 25 years. However, I do felt this team was the more consistent team while also having won a Super Bowl, even if it did come in controversial fashion. And obviously, with that, I am talking about the New Orleans Saints. And so much of it, so much. Yep, boo all you want. So much has been said about the Saints already that honestly, it's like gonna be interesting because I do get the feeling that if this was a ranking like 10 years from now, like okay, Saints definitely feel like a team that's gonna be lower given their direction doesn't look good, and the fact of the matter is that they are very inclined to live on mediocrity and just be a team that loves picking at the really just the freaking dead the rotting away corpses of NFL careers that are just clearly going south. But you know what? We gotta give someone money. Let's give these people money. And it's like, I don't know. The Saints it says something that the song of the Saints is of late. This team is boring, and you never want to be known as boring.
Yeah, this team is like it's like trying to listen to Nav. That's what this that's
Yeah,
what it's
I
like
agree.
that's what it's like trying to watch a Pete Carmichael offense. I'm sure Tegan would agree with me on that take.
Nav makes me fall asleep.
As does the New Orleans offense right now. Oh shit, Tegan fell asleep.
Tegan?
No, I'm still awake. Don't
Alright,
worry.
last one. It's your last one.
Well, at number 11, I have Denver.
Broncos country, let's ride.
Broncos country, let's fucking trauma dump. Broncos country, let's trauma dump. Broncos country, let's get ready to learn the maximum allowable under the CBA, buddy.
Yeah, I can't. I have a coworker who is a Broncos fan, and football pisses them off right now.
I imagine, as a Broncos fan, I'd be pretty irate because they've done so many like quote unquote solutions, and like none of them have worked out whatsoever.
Yeah, yeah, Sean Payton has turned into Mike Ditka too.
Not quite. Not quite yet.
Kind of. He is, depending on how this thing goes in terms of who the Broncos' next quarterback is, because I'm just gonna say, like, whoever the Broncos' next quarterback after Russell Wilson is gonna define Sean Payton's legacy in Denver. Like, it's his legacy-defining moment in Denver, because if it flops hard, yeah, it really is Mike Ditka 2.0, especially seeing who it seems Denver plans on drafting. But if it works well, then, well, you know what? You got the man to turn the job around, so you know what? Good on you. However, with how the Broncos have fared ever since Peyton Manning retired, yeah, it's easy to see why many people don't have optimism in them doing this.
Yeah, I don't have a good feeling about them trying to beat the Ditka allegations. They are allegations at this point, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Who did Tegan? Right. Tegan said the Broncos, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, does Ozza have at 11?
Could it be the Saints? That's me. Uh, the Indianapolis Colts.
Hmm.
Damn, I didn't say the.
Indianapolis Colts.
Huh. Fuck, I felt like I put the Colts too high.
Yeah, the Colts.
The Cox. Well, I mean, none of us other than Aiden, who 21. I'm not over it. He put him at 21. I'm not over it.
Yeah, you
All of
forgot
us, the rest of us.
Yeah, I know, it was just misspelled. It was just minor spelling mistake.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny that it was missing an L, which, Jim
Sorry.
Irsay always seems to take.
Well, I mean, Google, when I was typing in the thing, it never had the red thing over it. So I was like, oh, it's probably right.
That's not how Google works, buddy.
I blame Google for that one. That's Google's fault.
I blame technology. Why not?
It's all Google's fault.
Yeah, just that one gif of Patrick smashing that dollar with a computer.
I blame Google. Anyway, Spencer, who's your number 11?
Broncos country.
Let's try.
Broncos country. Let's end this episode.
Yep. Tegan, who did the bot say?
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Alright. Cool.
That's
Anyways, next week will be the top 10. And then we're gonna get into I think we'll have the underway wait. It'll be NHL trade deadline. I think we're gonna review the NHL trade deadline. Not next week, but the week after.
Sometime this.
Sometime in March.
I will not be contributing to that episode.
We'll be grading the deadline like we did last year.
I am joking. Obviously, I will give something of value, but
yeah, you have to let us know because you're a Sharks fan.
And
yeah, totally.
for one of these episodes, I also want to do a film festival for all the schedule reveals.
I believe that's going to be in like April or May.
Yeah, but still, I want to do that sometime this year again.
Oh, you don't know how, Spencer, that was painful. You don't know how cringe all of them were. I hated all of them. I like what Seattle did, and they didn't do anything. They were my favorites.
No, that's not true. I think you had I want to say you had the Eagles as your
Oh yeah, the
favorite,
Eagles are my favorite because puppies and dogs are so adorable, and I love dogs.
Yeah, and I really liked the Vikings one because it was a one-take drone shot.
Drone shots are nice. I hated the Jacksonville Jaguars because I get it, script jokes. I still hated it. But anyways, next week will be... I'm scared to literally click launch anyways because my OBS crashed, but the stream kept going.
Oh, that's crazy. That's just crazy.
I haven't touched... I literally, it crashed, but, I checked my YouTube and it was like, oh, the stream's still going. I'm not gonna touch OBS, but anyways, if this ends it, thanks so much for watching. And I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, tune in next week where we, I don't know, eat a cheeseburger.
Mm-hmm. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, it's actually still going. I have to... OBS. I have to go into... That's actually fucking crazy. Anyways, goodbye. I'm about to hit